And we are live.
Hey, yo. Welcome to the wonderful world of HungryHeath.
We've got a lot going on here.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not a classically trained chef. What I am is a self-taught home cook. I've studied under several television chefs. I have a PhD from YouTube University and a black belt in Google Food. I love to cook. The only thing I love more than cooking is my wife. This sensational Shelly eats steak. Together, we host what I like to call the Friday Night Feast. This happens every Friday night, 6:30 Central. We'll cook up an entree, a couple little snacks, show you how to do it, and we spend our evening just showing y'all how we do it. And then I'm messing all this up. I'm so sorry. We just woke up from a nap. I don't know why, but we stayed up super late last night. It was our anniversary. I think I'm just getting old. I think that's what it is.
You're getting old. That's why you stayed up?
Yeah, because we didn't go out drinking. We didn't go out drugging. We didn't do any
drugging.
I know. That's what I'm saying, though. We didn't do any kind of partying, but we still, for whatever reason, stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning watching reels on our phones.
Mm-hmm.
And we were even home by 8 o'clock, maybe 8:30 at the latest.
No, I thought we left the place at 8 o'clock
Yeah.
and we got home, I don't know, 9 something.
Yeah. Well,
but part of it, honestly, is we went to Breathless Black.
Yeah.
If y'all are in the chat, you would have seen all of it. But I got that the keto, and the keto one, they use almond flour. Y'all, I'm not used to almond flour because, for him, we never use almond flour for anything. So it's very rare. The only time I have almond flour is if, there's like a keto bar or a keto treat and I get just that. And it has, so you get a little bit, but the whole keto pizza and then the...
When you say whole, like the whole thing, it was an individual pizza. It's like maybe as big around as this bowl right here.
It was still big to me.
Well, no, but to me, a whole, you're saying like big.
Well,
15,
felt like a
inch.
whole. And I also, the crust on the lemon cheesecake had almond flour.
It was keto. It didn't fit with you well.
Oh my gosh. And I didn't even eat half of that cheesecake. We still have it in the other fridge.
And I'm not eating any of it.
No. But
I might scoop the cheesecake part off.
No, that is my cheesecake.
Maybe I won't.
What are you thinking, y'all? So anyways, I was, sorry if it's TMI, I was very bloated last night for hours. Even when we finally went to sleep at 2 o'clock, I still felt very, very bloated. And then, go from there. But anyway, so then, yeah, I slept, pretty late this morning. But I think I'm on the mid now. I was like, there's my lesson. Don't have that much almond flour when you haven't been eating almond flour forever. I should have got the pasta dish. Which is, I love the carbonara. It's like the
you
perfect.
Were debating it, remember?
I know. And the lamb stroganoff sounded very good to me too. But I was like, oh, it's just been a while since we've had a pizza
that we didn't have to make.
Right. And I was, yeah, y'all. Ugh. Anyhow, that's TMI. We're going to get into it today. So I have not eaten. I don't feel like eating, right? Like Heath is making chicken and everything. I don't know how. And he's already had breakfast today.
I'm doing it in the air fryer. That's how I'm doing it.
So to me, like food right now, I'm just like, no, I gotta wait.
And I got 2 rewards from restaurants I found I'm a member of and whatnot. So they give me birthday rewards.
Because why?
Because the 29th is my birthday.
Of September.
Yes. So this is and you let y'all knowing you're in the know now. I'm letting you know. Every September, we instituted this last year. We're doing this every September from now on. Will be known as Seafood September. So every Friday night feast will feature seafood in some form or fashion.
And that's kind of what we were up talking about too last night. Is okay. We wrote down 15. We have some cute ideas, I think.
Yeah.
But anyhow, yeah.
I'm making me a salad. This is just romaine lettuce. I'm slicing up and putting in a bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just right now, I have some Brazil nuts here. I'm trying to. These are supposed to be great for selenium, but so I'm like, if I start to get a little hungry, then I have my nuts. But right now I'm just having my coffee and that's it. That's good for me. I just want something easy, right? And I have an electrolyte drink here. We'll talk about in a bit. But if you look down, the question this Sunday, what's the worst medical advice you have received?
To go vegan.
But you don't have to eat all of that.
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
Because I already filled up trash in the other one. I'm throwing the back away. This will be a hearty salad. It'll hold me over so that we don't go out to eat later. Okay. Because like I said, I have a $15 credit at my favorite Mexican restaurant right up the road here, Gringo's Mexican Kitchen. Mm-hmm. They gave me $15 and a free empanada. It's my birthday, so I'm going to go ahead and go off plan for the empanada. It's and it's a shrimp empanada, so it fits into the month. So it's a win. And then Landry's gave me a $25 for my birthday. Yeah, because we're Landry's members. So yeah, every birthday we get $25. And speaking of Landry's, some of y'all are already in the know, but yesterday we celebrated our 11 years together, our 11-year anniversary. And that's why we went out to eat also. But to tie it into Landry's, they're from Houston. Tillman Fertitta, the owner, is from Houston. They're a Houston-based company. So they have several casinos. They have some in all over the nation, but they have some in Vegas. So not knowing any better. Golden Nugget. Yeah, we didn't know any better. We went. It was an old off the strip hotel. Yeah, and nothing to write home about. We've never been back. Yeah, because we're a little bougie sometimes. So we went there. We went there specifically just to support the home team. Yeah. So a little bit, we're going to talk about. So for Heath, this is his MS journey. So that's what he's supposed to be talking about. Is how he's doing on his MS journey. I'm actually doing very, very well. And go ahead. This week you went to your so his job requires that every year, in order to get like discounts on his insurance, it like there's different things you do, right? And one of them is to get an annual physical or well-being check, whatever. So he had to go to a primary, and remember he just saw his neurologist. So about 6 months ago, we put out a video with his whole lab work done, and if you watch that video, his lab work is like amazing. Yeah, I think his A1C was either 5.4 or 5.2. I can't remember. Somebody does. And, so he's done all, he's got his blood work done this year. Keto works. That's what we're proving. But he had to go to the primary for a well-being, right? So he gets that credit. And so he's going to talk about, that was on Tuesday that you went to the doctor. And if you saw those pictures, you see there's that one thing in there. There's a black cart, and then they wheeled in. I didn't know why they're doing it, but the doctor wanted to do an EKG on me, and I don't know. And then he's told me I'm a little hefty, and that I need to lose weight, and he's wanting me to come back in 2 weeks so he can discuss putting me on some weight loss pills. That's going to be a hard no. Hard no. Wow, we're just jumping in right exactly what happened, but okay. Yes, well, I mean. Okay, we're going to get this done quick today, y'all. Well, because somebody's got plans for us this afternoon, and I don't want to be out all day. Y'all know we are pro Halloween here, and my illustrious company, our current location, or the one closest to us, finally has some stuff in stock. All of them have Halloween set up. Well, we went last week. Stuff I want, y'all. They had it. We went last week and they didn't have anything. Now you're showing that they do have it in stock. Yeah. And we even looked at trying to order it online, and it's in store only. Yeah, for a couple of the things. Yeah, well, let's say hello, and then we'll get into more of what happened at your doctor's office. Shauna's here. She said, pulling up a comfy chair with a fresh mug of coffee. Me too, ma'am. Me too. Mugs up. 22Q Cat's here. Hey, said hi, Shelly, Heath, and everyone. Hey, Shauna. And Sharon's here. Hey, Sharon said, sit down after processing 12.4 pounds of tomatoes. Oh, wow. What all did you do with them?
Wow. That's crazy. That's a lot of tomatoes.
That's adventurous. I like that.
Mary T's here. Hey, said happy anniversary, you crazy kids.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for calling me a kid.
Yes. Can you believe that, y'all? 11 years as of yesterday. That's just no
crazy.
Regrets.
No regrets. No regrets. Sharon said, also put up several melons in the freezer. It's been a garden pack away day. Wow.
You've been busy.
Shauna said, oh, poor Shelly. Oh, believe me, that's not how I want our anniversary evening to go. Mary T said,
you know what, though? You don't want any evening to go that way.
No, I sure don't.
Anniversary or not.
Mary T said, I just picked size watermelon. I dehydrated cantaloupe and watermelon 1 year pre-keto. It was watermelon candy. No kidding. Oh, wow. I bet. Wow. Dehydrating that. Wow. Shauna said, I admit I'm a limited seafood fan. Right. I know.
That's fine.
But I know at least a couple you will probably like. And one of them I think for sure you're going to really want. And it's going to use Ketochow. We'll just say that. But
Shauna, I can't remember. Do you like shrimp?
Yeah, she eats shrimp all the time. That's why I said a couple of them she'll be good with because she does.
The one we have planned for the cook along is shrimp.
No, I thought it was crawfish.
Oh, that's right. We've had that discussion too. See, I have so many ideas. I'm getting boggled up in my brain.
Anyhow, Mary T
She's
said,
like, welcome to my world.
A student doctor recently asked me if I would consider statins due to my LDL. I'm sure my doctor sent them to me on purpose. Laugh out loud. I schooled him on cholesterol and low carb. Way to go. Awesome. Well, you got to get them when they're a student, right? Get them start questioning things now. Wow, that sucks, Mary T.
That Pepsi song, I want to teach the world to sing or whatever?
Yeah.
I want to teach.
I thought it was Coke.
Was it Coke? It was one of them. Either one.
In Mad Men, it was Coke.
I don't drink it, so I don't know anymore. So what I was going to say is we need to redo that one, and I want to teach the world to be keto.
Right? That would be cute song to do that away. Mary T said, my anniversary is September 5th. Oh, awesome. That's so sweet. 32 years.
Goals.
That is awesome. Well, happy anniversary, Mary T and Mr. Mary T.
Yes.
That's
Mr.
Awesome.
T. I like that.
Right? Mr. T. We'll just call him Mr. T.
But what did I tell you last night?
That is funny. That's his name, Mr. T.
Pity the fool. I'll tell you last night, I'm ready for another 111 years with you.
Oh, Shauna said go back. Oh, I missed her 11 years. She goes, 11 years, that's some strong, super strong chloroform. I know. At some point, it just wore off, and I said, you know what?
Aim for a penny, aim for a pound.
Yeah, I was like, might as well now.
Oh, what am I doing? I need this for chicken.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Sorry about that, Shauna. And Shauna said, here. Oh, and then she reposted, thank you. Thank you. Yes.
I'm sorry for missing comments. We're just half asleep.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't feeling good, so he gave me, I had a prescription strength ibuprofen. I didn't know I had.
From when you broke your arm?
Oh, maybe. Anyways, I took that, and that kind of made me dopey this morning, too. I was like, that's what happens when you're not used to, like, meds and almond flour. You just mess yourself up. But good to know. It was freaking delicious, though. Everything we had last night, I thought was really good. And it was that's why I've never felt that full in my life. And then it dawned on me, oh, that's what bloating is. Because it's been so long since I have felt bloated, y'all. I mean, years. Right? Yeah, years since I had that bloating feeling. And I didn't realize, and I'm just like laying there going, why am I in so much like pain? Like, I'm like, I feel like a freaking balloon. Like I felt like the Goodyear blimp because I was just like, whoa. And then it makes sense. I was like, oh, that's right. Dang it, Shelly. You're not used to almond flour. Why'd you get that?
Almond flour is the devil.
I know.
I think it messes with you worse than sugar does.
Well,
crazy.
At least in my gut. It is not a gut healthy thing.
Incoming message.
You've earned A reward.
On where?
And
we're getting all
no, I'm on an Amazon panel and I get to take surveys for money. But anyways, and guess what? Since today is September 1st, it is Interest Day.
Oh.
So I showed Heath this morning. Remember, I pulled up my bread account and I said, look at the interest we got for September.
That's awesome. Yeah. We're not going to tell them how much. That's fine. This is boneless, skinless chicken thighs, right?
Yeah, from Aldi, y'all.
It was half frozen. And I just dusted it with my taco seasoning. I'm just throwing it in here.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I love Interest Day. Anybody else? 22Q Cat. You got to love Interest Day, right? Who else is with me?
I'm very interested in Interest Day.
And I showed Heath and I said, look at the interest we got just for them taking my money, right? Just keeping my money right there. Look at what they pay me on a monthly basis to just hold on to my money.
The only thing I wish about it was we started sooner.
I know, but I was just like, look at how much already. And I was like, just next month it'll be in a new, was it a new $10? I don't know what it, or
a new thing.
A new thing. But anyways, it keeps going up.
I use those technical terms.
Right. It just keeps going up, and I just love Interest Day. So that chicken does smell really good, y'all.
You want a bite?
No.
Because remember, you had me get cookie one up too.
Yeah, I thought there was 3 in there.
Yeah, I'm just having one right
now. Oh, okay.
Because remember, I told you I'm gonna take the other one probably after lunch tomorrow. I was actually gonna do it today, but I changed my mind because the lettuce was looking a little wonky. I was just gonna slice it up and put it in tacos.
Oh. Yeah, maybe I'll have the one half. I don't want a whole one, just half of it.
You want to go get it right now?
If you feel like it. Mary T said, my daughter's anniversary is September 4th. Oh, that's cute. That's awesome. Her best buddy's 50th, wow, is September 6th. They are at an Airbnb a couple of hours away. So we're going to spend a night then to see their new house they just bought. Wow, that is awesome, Mary T. That is great.
Take what you want.
Okay.
And I'll
well, I need a fork.
Hold on.
I'm gonna get my hands dirty.
Hold on. I'm working on it. Because yeah, you're gonna need a fork to eat with anyways. And then just put the rest of it in mine.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want the whole thing, that's fine too. But thank you again, Shauna, Sharon, and Steph. We just used the air fryer for this chicken.
Right?
It was awesome because you bought a bag of them. I don't even remember what size it is. I just pulled out 3 of them, let them thaw last night, and they're still kind of frozen this morning. Just cut the whole thing up and eat it. When I take these gloves off, I'm done.
Here you go.
Okay.
No, this one's mine.
Oh,
that's yours. The ones that cut up.
Oh, is that my? No, it's my phone going off.
That'll be so much fun, Mary T. You're gonna. That's awesome. I can't wait to see the house and all. I bet she's just so excited.
Because usually I'll put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I don't be getting. So I hope we don't get a phone call.
Shauna said, I was just talking to someone about not eating almond flour anymore or very little. Said it started with you guys. Aw, thanks. But yeah, it just lesson learned, right?
Oh yeah, that's what I gotta do too.
22Q Cat said, yes, you know me well. I love checking all the interest money. I know, isn't it fun? You're just like, free money. It's just like, makes your day.
And this is some, and I'll just show you.
Oh, here we go, Shauna.
We were sad when we went to the store the other day. The hatch season is over, so they don't have the peppers anymore, or the sausage, or the chorizo. But I found they did have this still.
The cheese.
Yeah.
Shauna said, oh, sweet. Napa Dutch Bros has order ahead in the app and then park in a spot. They bring it to you. Yeah, they've been really pushing that order ahead. I noticed all of ours have that as well. And then I noticed yesterday at the one we went to, they had the spot that said more mobile at pickup here. And I was just like, oh, but I don't know. I'm usually I'm hitting Dutch like after a store, so I never know when to time it. So I just go through the line right now.
Well, you know what you can do then?
Huh?
If you're doing it right from the store, when you get in the car,
No.
you load the groceries, sit in the car, and then do it.
Mm. You'll have to let me know how efficient it is if you think it's faster.
Okay, you're saying you do this. That's my salsa.
Yeah.
And the sour cream. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm just going to use the rest of that and do that.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do a scoop or two of sour cream to some salsa.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be my salad dressing.
Yeah. Terry B said, I love the air fryer for frozen, boneless, skinless chicken thighs.
It was perfect.
That's awesome. That's what we did. I put them in frozen, and about 25 minutes later, they are perfect and juicy.
I did mine were like they were semi-frozen. I did them for 10 minutes, flipped them. I did them at 400 for 10 minutes, flipped them, and did another 5 minutes.
Yeah, what a perfect way. And then the Aldi thighs.
Yeah.
$7.09 for 3 pounds.
Oh, look at you. I like that.
Pretty good deal.
Only way this would make this better, honestly, y'all, either an avocado or bacon or both into it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't feel like messing with the bacon and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've already had my allotted avocado for the day. That's what somebody advised me. The honeymoon is over.
Mary T said, I once did the math on how many almonds it took to make a cup of almond flour. Some crazy amount, like 100. Yeah, it's a lot. And I was also reading about it this morning. And it's like, that it has, here, let me see the cup. It has like some other things that, having that much.
Uh-huh.
And again, in moderation, right? If all I had, like I normally do, is the cheesecake, then that little bit of almond flour in the crust has never bothered me before. But I think it's because I had that whole pizza plus started on the cheesecake, and then my body was like, you've reached your maximum, ma'am. You need to stop now.
And then, I don't know if y'all, how much, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting how to say this.
Uh-oh.
I don't know how close y'all pay attention to the trailer for this. But I normally would have shown you all the food we ordered last night in that trailer. But I thought we were going to be home too late, so I went ahead and did everything else up until then, and then scheduled it. But we ended up having time. But so all I'm going to do, I'm going to post it next week, if y'all even care.
Sharon said, oh my God, Shelly said gut health. That reminded me, I have salsa fermenting. So do I, Sharon.
That's awesome.
All of those really spicy peppers, and it's probably past, it's been fermenting a while. So I need to do that today too. I'm excited to try it. Oh, fermented salsa, y'all. It just takes it to the next level.
We're going to use some of that in one of those recipes we were talking about last night.
Sharon said, it's been going since the 22nd. Just tried on jar, and it's amazing. Tomatillo with serrano. Ooh.
Wow.
Yum.
So let me ask you this. Would you be willing to do a trade for a jar of that for a bottle of the Clown Tears?
Oh, yeah.
Would that work for you?
Shauna said, oh, that looks, I think that's like, woo, good, your salad.
I was going to take a picture of it and post it next week, but they're seeing me do it. So.
Terry B said, really nice looking salad there, Heath.
Thank you.
Yum.
Really? Okay.
Right. Now, my salad yesterday, which y'all will see, I put, because I got some green beans on sale. I got a lot of discounts at Kroger yesterday. I was just going in for their butter. So if you are a Kroger person, their butter is on the weekly digital for $2.79 a pound and limit 5. So I got 5 of them. And that's all I was going in for, but I saw a whole bunch of discounts, so I had to get it, But also, Terry B, thank you, because you're the one who told us about Kroger having the bags of lilies for $5.99. So, and that sale is good. At least mine said, the tag said until September 17th. So I grabbed, Shauna needed some bags, and I grabbed a couple more for us, but I'll get another bag every weekend until the 17th.
Speaking of Kroger, I heard on Dustin's this morning on Keto Simple, double check me if you can, pull up Kroger's app.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I think he said it was bone-in ribeyes for $4.99.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They have them for $4.99.
But you got to be careful because sometimes they cut them really, really thin.
Yeah, they'll cut them thin. And I was like, we already have ribeyes in the freezer. And what, 2 prime ribs?
Yes.
I'm like, we do not need it. They have that sell enough.
Uh-huh.
Like, we got so much meat, y'all.
And then said they're also doing a boneless for $7.99.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good of a deal, honestly. No, not around here. There's a couple of people in the chat were excited about it, but I think we're very fortunate here in Houston. We get really, really excellent meat deals.
And usually what I'll find is if Kroger has like ribeyes or something on sale, then H-E-B will either have a better sale that week or the next week. Mm-hmm. So like the ground beef at Kroger, $2.97 a pound, so $8.97 for a 3-pound chub. You have to buy 3 pound. But H-E-B also has it for $2.94 a pound, so it's $8.91 for a 3-pound chub. I know it's 6 pennies, but that's the kind of deals they do. It's since I'm already going to be at H-E-B.
It's kind of like the gas wars too, when all the gas stations are going back and forth like that.
Right. So I just go ahead and, I check both of the ads. That's why I like that Flip app, F-L-I-P-P, Flip app, because I can look at all of the area grocery stores and see all of the ads at once, and then I could be like, oh, I see Kroger's got it here, but H-E-B has it here, and that's what I do.
It's not a real salad without tomatoes.
I thought there was something missing. Shauna said, we have a few spots, but usually I time it not when students will be there. Oh, are you near like a college campus or something? Yeah, that would make a difference. I kind of like talking to them when I ordered. See, that's my thing too, Shauna. I love the Dutch customer service. Like, they're always so friendly, and I know this is probably shallow, but that's the few places that at least give me a compliment. I like when I drive through and they'll usually be like, ooh, I love your lipstick, or that's a cute shirt. They give like some kind of compliment. And it just,
or we have the dogs that compliment the dogs.
I know. So it makes me feel good. the cheap
speaking of
compliment, yeah.
We're going today when we get out, right? Because we got gifted a couple for our anniversary. It'd be rude not to use them.
That's true.
They would think that we weren't grateful for it if we didn't use them.
Right?
That's my Heath math.
Right. Mary T said, my daughter's house is amazing. 6 bedrooms. Wow. No kids. Wow. But laid out so they will live upstairs and work downstairs. Oh, so they each get to work from home.
That's awesome.
The mountain views are stunning, and in a tiny bedroom. Is bedroom community? Oh, what does that mean?
I don't remember. This is a term. I don't remember what it means.
But wow, that is nice. I love mountain views. I would love to see the mountains every day.
That's why I want to go back to Estes Park. That was amazing.
2ATQ Cat said, random question, but where's Lynette been? I haven't seen her here or on the Friday Night Feast for weeks now. Maybe I just missed something. Yeah, I reached out to her and she just said she's been busy. So I don't know. Maybe people sometimes things happen and their schedule changes. Like I know Heath used to do lots of the lives, but then when he got hired at Home Depot, or I should say wherever he got hired at, you all know. But anyways, because he's only off on Sundays and Tuesdays, he misses a lot of the lives now. Because
it's like one of my favorites I used to tune into all the time was Keto Bricks live at 5 on Wednesdays. But I don't get off till 5:30. And by the time I got off work, he's already done.
Right. And then during the week, a lot of times, like especially on Tuesday, because you're off, I'm still working. And so then you're kind of busy getting everything, done for dinner that night, or you're smoking something, or you're cooking something, or we have plans, or we go and do something. It's just like, we just don't have a lot of time. So that happens, right? People's schedules change. That's the only thing I can think of. Shauna said that was a hot face for that Hatch cheese. Oh, and that cheese, honestly, y'all, is not.
She can't trust us to say that.
That's true.
Remember the last time I told her that?
It's not hot at all. Sharon said we could work a trade. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then plus you do get up early for Dustin's. You were in there this morning, you said.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did you get up early? Like, I didn't even want to get up at 10.
I get up at 6. I have my alarm set for 6:30 every morning, whether I need to work or not. The dogs help me, remind me to get up, actually.
So, yeah, you do enjoy that because he's always so excited. He comes in, he's like, oh, on Dustin's day. Da, 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 da. I'm like, okay. I'm just still not going to get that early. Joey GQ Cat said, Flip Up is wonderful. I love it. Awesome. I'm glad you do. Isn't it? It's a nice app, and you really want to look at all the stores in your area, or even find out. I found out several stores I didn't even know existed in our area.
Oh, really? That's cool.
I don't know if it does like a 25-mile radius, but a lot of them are like smaller stores. Like little Mexican marts and Asian markets. And I just don't think to look at those.
Because there's that one grocery store at the road home, was the Fiesta Mart or whatever it's called, remember?
Mm-hmm.
I used to go in there and get those fajita fries all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But we don't usually go to that store, though, just because it's dirty.
No. Mary T said, I have a brisket out. Ooh, I'm going to smoke to take with me. It's about 10 pounds. It was $94. Wow. Oh, my gosh. That seems high. But that sounds delicious, though. Everybody will love that. You show up with a brisket? Mm-hmm. Shauna said, a high school less than a block. Oh, that makes sense. Right. And they're all like high school kids. Oh, I can especially imagine in Napa. They're probably like, it's PSL.
And I bet you a lot of their friends work there, too.
Oh, right?
So it becomes a popular hangout.
Keto Simple said, he's napping. I hope your nap was good, Heath. Yeah, he did, because he came in there and I was still asleep. And then he's like,
oh. At least it landed correctly.
Mary T said, I'm seriously considering looking for a job in a store. I wouldn't make much less than I do now. I would love talking to people all day. My job sucks. Oh, that's so sad. You hate your job. I remember when you started there and how excited you were about it. So that sucks that. Oh,
what do you want?
No, I didn't use the rest of my milk, but that's okay. Oops. Let's see if I can do that. But that sucks that you hate it so much. But yeah, find you. Excuse me, y'all. Find you another store. If you're somebody who likes to chit chat,
you say your friend does.
Yeah, my coworker at work, because since
coworker at work.
Yeah, my coworker. Since we work from home, you don't interact with anybody, right? And so she got herself a little part-time job that she could work on the weekends when she's feeling that, because she says she gets like really depressed if she doesn't have enough social interaction with people. And so she just will work there. They're real flexible with her. She could work on, a Saturday and or Sunday. And then she has more people that she works with that she could chat to, and then plus the customers. And she said that helped her so much. Just doing that one day a week really helped her social battery, because she's just such a very outgoing social person. She needed that. Whereas like me, I'm like, look, I talk with enough people at work. I feel like. So I don't do, I'm just like, I'm okay with that. Interacting with my Dutch people is enough, right? That's how I get it. But for some others, you need that social connection. So yeah, why not? Why not find you some job? If you're going to enjoy it more and look forward to it better, do it. There's no reason to suffer in something that you hate, that you are like, oh, this sucks and I hate doing it. Don't. Go find you something else. Go find you something else that you could do and you would enjoy and not be dreading going to work. That's the worst. What?
I was going to say, if it's something you enjoy, keep at it. The more, the merrier. Good, Mary T.
This is Raspberry Lemonade by Ultima. Oh, Laura S is here. Hey, Laura S. She said, hi, everyone. I missed the notification. Oh, no.
What you got to do, just know from now on, 1 p.m. Central.
Right? That's true. Shauna said, never trust Heath when he offers you cheese and says, oh, it's not hot. Laugh out loud. Right? 22Q Cat said, I'm never up and actually functioning early enough to catch Keto Simple live Sunday mornings. Functioning is the key word here. Right. I feel you. Because like earlier when he came in there after Dustin's, I guess it was like 9:30 or something. I don't know. Or 9. I don't know.
I even cashed out early with him and I went in there and took a nap.
Yeah. And he comes in there and he's like, oh, I just left Dustin's. And I was like, it is too early to even, like, I cannot comprehend what you're saying. Just go. Just
lay there and look pretty is what she told me.
Yeah, basically. I'm like, because you know me, a lot of times I don't even speak. I just grunt. Mm-hmm. And you have to learn my grunts because I just cannot functionally say and put together words. Like my mind might be thinking it, but my mouth is not connected to my brain at that time. And it's just like,
It's even hard for her to text. So I'll send her a message, ask her if she's even going to wake up, if I need to come in there and help her wake up or not. She'll reply with a why. Not a yes, but why.
Yeah, like yes is too many left at 7:30 in the morning. Why is good enough. Yes, I'm not going to do that. And sometimes he'll reply.
I don't deserve the whole word.
He'll be like, why what? He'll do WHY, why what? And I'm like, I'm just done with you.
Don't even reply to me. Persona non grata.
It's a mean, right? Yes, it is mean. But I'm just not functioning. I'm like, I can't put together words yet. You're asking too much. Mary T said, just making you feel better about your meat prices. Thank you, Mary T. We need that, right? Rickwood's here. Hey, Rickwood. She said, howdy, Horde. Had to run to CVS to pick up my blood pressure meds, and I'm back. Oh, goodness. Sorry you had to do them.
I would suggest you drive.
Yeah, maybe don't
get
run.
A little quicker.
No. Sharon said, okay, tomato puree transferred to slow cooker and was wanting to scorch on the cooktop. Oh, that's, I hate that. Mary T said, well, you know what they say. People don't leave jobs. They leave managers. I love real estate, but my manager is toxic. Exactly. That's one thing you've always had to look in is if there's a high turnover, it's because of management. That's simply what it is. And like the job I had at Globe before what I have now, I worked at Globe. I could say that now. But all of a sudden, I liked my direct managers. I thought they were good. But then the company kept putting out like, okay, now this is what you have to do. Oh, you have to have 95% adherence. And basically if your break is 15 minutes, but you ran over on a call, well, then now your break's only 10 minutes. Wow. Because if you want to meet the adherence, like they kept doing stricter and stricter. And I started seeing a lot of the managers were leaving like every week. So-and-so's leaving. So-and-so's leaving. Mm-hmm. And I was like, if there's a mass exodus of managers, what does that tell you about upper management? I'm like, I'm not sticking around. And so when my direct manager, who I work with now, when she left, I messaged her and I was like, look, if you your company you're going to, or you know anything, please let me know, because I'm seeing the signs here. I got to get out.
Remember that one lumber company I was working for doing their cabinets? That was a fiasco too. And my direct supervisor left. About 3 months later, I left. And I messaged him and let him know, called him and we talked about it. And he goes, well, and he said, I told you when it's time to go, I'll let you know. Because that was me letting you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's why I was like, okay, got to get out of there. And what I like about where I'm at now, because I was reading some Facebook friends, they were talking about, I don't know if y'all saw the story about the Wells Fargo woman in Tempe, Arizona. But anyways, they were talking, I told you about that. But anyways, they were talking about that and about, jobs suck, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? Where I'm at, I feel very fortunate. Like my managers are great. My upper management is great. The CEO is great. Like he does a lot of not one-on-one, but he's open to talking to anybody in the company, and he's always present in the big meetings. I know. And they said, at the office, for those that go into the office, that he's very approachable, and it just seems like a dad, y'all. Like that's what I've always got the feel. He just seems like a good, jolly, like he's always smiling and stuff.
Cool dad.
Yeah, and he's always smiling and just seems like one of those, like, oh, that's a fun dad. And, like my manager, even now, she'll check in and be like, hey, how are you doing? How's everything going? I know, we got you trained on some more stuff. How are you feeling with that? Like she checks in.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so and everybody at the company, they'll give out every month, they'll talk about who has anniversaries throughout the whole company. And there's so many people that are 5, 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years with the company.
That's awesome.
To me, that's a good sign. If you see a lot of people that have a lot of years on there, then it's like, okay, then that's probably a good side there. You want people who are there for a while, not, 1-2 years constantly.
What's my direct supervisor keeps telling me that I need to put in for my leave of absence paperwork. He says, you've been here a year now. You need to put it in. With your illness, with your health conditions, he goes, it'll be beneficial if you at least have it documented. Even if you never use it, at least put it in. He goes, because then if anything happens, it frees you up.
It's there to protect you.
And he's right. Because we also, I don't want to overshare so much, but we have the same ailments.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like the best boss in the world, honestly, I've ever had. He's up there, but is one of them, anyways. But I even talked to him about changing departments because I want to go into kitchen design because that's my forte. Yeah, forte. But then we were discussing it too, and you keep reminding me, but y'all got such a good rapport.
I know.
Because we have every week, usually on Wednesdays, we have a department meeting. The whole team gets together for at least 30 minutes, and we end up running 45 minutes to an hour because everybody just loves visiting. Same thing when I do my one-on-ones with him. Almost every Friday we do them.
Hey, Robert. He just hopped in, I saw.
Well, nice. Hey, brother. And we end up going 30 minutes to an hour. We were scheduled for 30. We end up doing 45 minutes to an hour, sometimes even over an hour.
Yeah.
And we visit about everything because he's big into cooking also.
Well, as soon as you finish your salad, then I think you should talk about your doctor visit.
Oh, yeah.
There's more people in here. They all want to hear about what happened at the doctor. Julia the Pines is here. Hey, said, yay. Glad I caught you guys for a couple minutes. Yes. I'm on a break at work. Oh. Well, thank you for hopping in. Keto in the Mist. Hey, how you doing? Rickwood's here, said, we're having a thunderstorm. Uh-oh, doctor in my lap and very unhappy. If I disappear suddenly, we lost power. Oh. Well, I hope you stay safe.
Fingers crossed, because we understand that part.
Right. And tell little doggies, it's okay, babies. 2ATQ Cat said, wait, Duster comes on at 7:30 a.m. here. So Heath is up at 6:30 a.m. your time to watch it? Yeah. Oh, my.
Actually, even earlier. Because I got a bunch of my stuff done ahead of time. I can sit down to watch it.
Right. So, yeah. At 6:30 in the morning, no, you
I
ain't
have my
gonna see
alarm
me.
every day set for 6:30 a.m. That way I can get up, get all my chores done before I go to work at 8:30.
Mm-hmm. Rickwood said, I tried out the new Ketochow banana bread today.
What'd you think of it?
Wow. I made chaffles for breakfast. They didn't have much taste, so added banana extract. Yeah, I think you do. If you're really wanting the banana, because I got more of a bread forward, you have to add a little banana extract.
But I was asking her, was it last night or this morning, about taking one of the packets of the new flavor and mixing one of just banana, mix them together. But then I was wondering how well that would actually work.
Right. Everyday Opportunity said, HungryHeath, good afternoon. Hope y'all are doing well.
You too, brother. How you been? I ain't talked to you in forever.
I know. Mary T said, a bedroom community is a town closest to a city where people live and they commute to the city. Oh. Okay. My son-in-law will have a 2.5-hour commute one way.
Ouch.
Daughter works from home. Oh, 5 hours a day on the road? Jeez.
But at Everyday Opportunity, he's literally, I think, maybe my third oldest friend. We've known each other since high school. He's a grade ahead of me, but we met back in high school.
Nice.
Yeah. He's literally one of my oldest friends still to this day.
Sean's here. Hey, Sean said, hey, all.
Hey,
how
brother.
are you doing, Sean and Michelle? Or is she working today? Rickwood said, I was wondering about adding a banana Ketochow to the banana bread Ketochow, if it would be more like banana. I mean, I find the banana Ketochow is very banana forward, so I would think it would.
Which one of us is braver? The only problem I have with doing that, we haven't actually ordered any yet. They sent us 3 samples.
Yeah.
We used one for the video.
Mm-hmm.
We have one set aside. We actually did the X2. Yeah, one for fudge and one for another recipe video we're going to put out.
Yeah.
So we may order some more. I don't know.
Yeah. Mary T said, the good news is I'm mostly in the office alone, barely see the boss, but when he is in, the risk that he will scream and swear about something is real.
No.
I put up my chin and give it right back. Toxic. Oh, that's not good at all, Mary T. Yeah, you don't need to be in there.
You got to check yourself before you wreck yourself, sir. You won't be talking to people like that.
Sean said, how was your nap, Heath?
Uneventful. Let's leave it that way. I just slept. It was good.
Mm-hmm. Sean said, I really enjoyed the emulsions from Laura-Ann. Yeah, so those would be good too. She gets a banana emulsion because you did that, Shauna, right? Shauna made the pancakes and you added some of the emulsion. You feel like you did a little bit too much, right? So that obviously works really well. And then she gave the link. Thank you.
Is Dustin still in, dude, bro? Before we started, bro, I was waiting on her to come here and join me. I was watching your video where you do the new flavor.
Oh, nice.
I didn't get through it all, but I'll go back and watch it. But it looked the pictures you posted about it, they look really good.
Sean said, Shell is here watching.
Hi.
And Shauna said, I had to spell banana 3 times. Where is Gwen Stefani when you need her? I know when Heath was typing it out, he was like trying to spell, I don't know what he was spelling, but I was like, B-A-N-A-N-A. I'm like for this song. I was like, how do you not know that?
I'm not a singer.
Whatever.
I am prettier than her, though.
Yeah, Mary T, how are you feeling?
And I just started telling people at work, too, on my calls.
Shell says hi back. Oh.
When they asked me my name, so I spell it out for them. I said, just like the candy bar, but only sweeter. And
I'm surprised you didn't use that on me.
And I get a laugh every time. Or I either use that or I'll tell them, just like Heath Ledger, but only better looking.
Oh my gosh. And now you know why we've been married for 11 years.
Uh-huh.
So, yes, if you just tuned in recently, Heath went to a primary care doctor on Tuesday. So I was looking through his insurance. You know, he has to stay in network, and I found one. And I was like, okay. They were able to get him in, and so he went to the appointment, and I said, you have to be fasted because they'll probably do some blood work, even though he just got it done 7 months ago.
And they didn't, so I could have ate.
Well, they didn't because you walked out. But anyhow.
Because they're giving me dumb advice.
So you go into the office.
Mm-hmm.
And
actually, it was late.
Yeah, you got lost.
Because I knew a facility I'd never been to before.
And then at the office here, I'm trying to give them this until you finish your last 2 bites.
Go ahead.
So then he gets there and fills everything out. And I don't know, did the doctor? No, you did it online, I know. But did the doctor do the EKG or the nurse?
Nurse.
So yeah, next thing he knows, they're hooking him up to do an EKG. And I guess they do that.
The worst part I hated, though, and he just told me, he goes, well, look, we're going to do an EKG on you, so go ahead and take your shirt off, and we'll be in another minute. And I sat there for almost 10 minutes with my shirt off in the waiting room, in the exam room. What do you call that room?
Yeah, the exam room.
Yeah, just sat there with my shirt off, feeling like a weirdo.
So they do the EKG, and then the doctor comes in to talk to you with the results and everything.
Yeah.
And so what did the doctor tell you? Or what did he ask, and how did you respond, and all those things?
Well, I told him, that I have MS. I've been keto for 5 years now, and I reversed my diabetes. And he told me right up front, he goes, nope, you can't reverse diabetes. Once you're a diabetic, you're always a diabetic. Strike one right there for me. That put me off. Then he told me that before he ordered the EKG.
All right, can I say one thing real quick? I told Heath, I said, if we were like faster on the uptake, right? You could have said, oh, well, how do you know if someone's a diabetic or not? And more likely he would say, well, we would do a morning glucose and then run an A1C and say, okay, so if your A1C is 5.2, does that make you a diabetic? And then he'd probably say, oh, no, you have to be 6 or whatever the number is now. Right. And he'd say, well, I had my A1C done just this year, and it was 5.2 or 5.4. I don't know which one it was. But anyways, so am I diabetic or not? If that's what your determining factor is, my A1C, and it's not, then what?
I got mouthy with him, though.
Oh.
And I told him, I said, well, I was type 2 diabetic. I was taking metformin, those big old ugly horse pills. Said about 6 weeks after going keto, the doctor called me and told me to stop taking it because it could potentially be harmful because I was diabetic.
What did he say to that?
He just gave me a blank stare.
And then what happened after that?
And then he's like, well no, after the EKG, he came back in and told me he wants to see me in 2 weeks because he wants to put me on some weight loss medicine.
To help his heart.
Yeah, to help my heart. Like, brother, I was already close. I was either close to or breaking 500 pounds when I did this 5 years ago. I think I've lost my weight.
Without meds. So I was like, so it sounds like he's one of those like GL pill pushers.
Right. So, and they've already called me 3 times, left messages for me to schedule a revisit. That ain't happening. I'm not going to see this guy again. Who that?
Oh, Renee just sent a link. We'll have to watch later.
Is she even in here?
Uh-huh.
She can message you, but she can't tune in. I love you too, Renee.
But anyways, so he said that, and then
they gave me a printout for the results from the EKG.
Yeah.
And then it's something else because there was some bunch of notes on the backside of it too. It's in my office.
I don't know what it said, but I mean, when I looked at the numbers of his EKG, like the one number was a little, like it's supposed to be 60 and his was 59. So a little bit of, what did they call it? Sinus brachycardia or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was like, but it could have been the time of day. Could have been you were low on electrolytes because normally he has his electrolytes every morning. Mm-hmm. And I told him not to drink any of that because they were supposed to do blood work.
It didn't happen.
But it didn't happen. But you told me on Tuesday that after the doctor saw you for all of 10 minutes that you just walked out of there.
Yeah.
You didn't even check out.
No. I just waved at him and left because I was pissed.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know. Yeah, it's easy to just say F you and never go back to that doctor. I said, but in a way, I think maybe you should, so you could be like, oh, what's my A1C again? Oh, it's 5.2. Oh, I thought you said I'd always be a diabetic.
Oh, tell them the better part, too. Not only did they leave me a couple of voicemails, want me to reschedule.
Oh, yeah, this is funny.
They also sent me an email wanting me to do a review.
Yeah.
Before I could even reply to it and everything, because somebody has access to my emails. Somebody took it. That's why I say I have people for this.
Oh, Lord.
I put my bouncer on it.
So I filled out the survey, and first it was asking, and I said the staff was good.
Yes,
you didn't have any complaints about the staff.
Yeah, when I checked in, that person was nice. The nurse was nice. It's just me and the doctor didn't get along.
Yeah, so I put there on the doctor. Did the doctor listen to your needs? I was like, absolutely not. Because he didn't. He didn't listen to, and I put on there that you explained that you have a neurologist, and the neurologist the neurologist was like, oh, keto, I don't know. You need to check on your cholesterol. You need to have a primary, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, I do need a primary. I
hate
going to the doctor.
But then over the years that he has seen you, he is actually like, hey, he might have been skeptical about keto, but he's like, well, it's working for you, so keep it up.
Right.
So that to me is like, okay, well, this new primary doctor didn't even give a shit what your neurologist had to say or and I think you said that you told him, well, my neurologist is fine with what I'm doing.
Uh-huh. I did.
And nothing. So on the survey, I put that on there, and I put, no, they didn't listen to your treatment and care that you've received from your neurologist. And then after I did that negative, right, then he got another survey, and the second survey was specifically about the doctor and how the doctor, it was like, I don't know, 10 to 15 questions just about the doctor. And I rated
manner or whatever.
No, it's sort of like, his bedside. Did you feel like he gave enough time to you? I was like, poor. Did he listen to your concerns? No. Did he explain why he was doing certain things? Nope. I said, nope. He just did the EKG without explaining why.
Which is a huge waste of time, is what it was.
Right.
I feel like the whole trip over there was.
Right. Well, other than, you get credit at your company. Yeah. That's the most important.
Right.
And, and it was like, did he seem to listen to, you just have to shake it.
Well, I'm just scared I don't want to blow up again.
Did he, do all these different things? And I was like, on all of them, it was poor. And he said, ever since I did that one, he hasn't gotten another call. So, yes. Oops, we got behind. Shauna said, delusions keeping it real. Laugh out loud. Rickwood said, back again. We lost power with a clap of thunder. Oh, no. Had to wait on internet. Ugh, isn't that the worst?
Because you've seen us during our lives. When we lose power, we'll run into that too. We have to wait, take a while, and then the router will reset.
And then in regards to your doctor, Laura S. said, seriously? Right. Isn't that ridiculous? And then, you just shake it all up.
I don't know. But
Sean said, did they give you the hatchet job shave? I hate that.
No.
They just shave where the little patches go.
No, they didn't. They just peel and stick is all it was.
Right on your hair?
No, not on my head at all.
No, your hair.
Yeah, she went around. She
found ways around your hair?
Yeah. Hatchet job. I like that though.
Sean said, my PCP was the same way. He told me that I was a diet-controlled diabetic.
Right.
Well, yeah, but everybody's on a diet, whether it's the standard American diet.
Well, that one doctor you saw is the same thing. They told you, and the one that was recommending you go vegan.
Oh, I know, the plant-based.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, everything's diet-controlled. You are just eating the proper diet that prevents these diseases. Right. Duh. Mary T said, what were the EKG results? Does he understand how much weight you've lost? No, because he never even asked, did he?
No, he didn't. Do you want me to go get it and you read it off to him?
I guess. Right? I don't know how I'm reading it. Sean said, run away, Heath, with middle fingers held high in the air.
What do you call it? The one finger salute.
Right? Renee said, hola, Horde. Hey, Renee.
See, she heard me. Hi.
She said, for me, if there's bad juju with the doc, that relationship is just not going to go well. Be sure to do a Google review. Businesses hate bad Google reviews. Our CEO addresses them every time.
You see,
okay.
When I first got with my neurologist, him and Shelly got into it like really bad the very first time I went in there. But ever since then, he's been cool.
Yeah,
but she's also never visited again.
You don't like me.
You don't mess with my wife.
Mary T said they are half right about being diabetic. Should you return to SAD, you would return to diabetes. That's why we say reversed, not cured. Geez, the doc should tell you that.
Well, it's like I told you too. That one roommate of mine, that was I was living in their house whenever I was renting a room for them. Before
yeah.
She told me that I should never get off keto. Or what did she say?
No,
keto doesn't work because once you stop, you're gonna gain all your weight back. I was like, well, that's an easy fix then. I'm just not going to stop.
I know. And I'm like, yeah, it is controlled by eating that. And I know they don't say cured, but again, I don't feel like it's.
That's why I never said cured. I said reversed.
Right. But even then, it's like, well, what point is it determined cured? If you've gone without diabetes for 5 years, when are you considered cured then? I mean, yeah, if you do anything, you can get a disease of some sort, but anyhow, Rickwood said my PCP says my blood pressure is high. It usually runs 137/79, but the aiming list seniors can run 140/80. Always wants me to take statins. We'll see if she wants to add weight loss meds this year. Oh, right. Well, and his blood pressure was 110/70.
Yeah. And they weighed me. I was at okay.
Well, you did gain a little there.
I did, but what I did wrong, I had every intention of weighing myself before I left the house, and I forgot to.
Yeah.
And I was already dressed. I didn't want to get undressed to go weigh again. So I was like, well, I'll just go by what they say. I did gain, but to me, it doesn't matter. I don't really care what the scale says, honestly.
Yeah.
I go by how I feel, and I feel amazing.
Yeah, but his blood pressure 110/70. I was like, he was like, is that good or bad? I'm like, that is like freaking perfect.
I don't remember which doctor it was we watched or did watch that said high cholesterol is not really a factor.
Yeah.
And I may have been Dr. Barry, but I don't remember for sure. That I even told my neurologist one time, and he started to tell me about that. I said, no, that's just a high cholesterol just means I'm doing my diet correctly. Because I eat so much meat.
Sean said, was your blood pressure too high? No. And see, usually I'm the type, I get the white coat syndrome. So mine will run a little bit higher, like 130/90 sometimes when I go to the doctor. But at home, or if I go to like Walgreens or wherever, then it's normal. But him, on the other hand, no, he just goes in.
Doesn't bother me though. I'm gonna go put this kefir up. I don't need to be sitting out all day.
He said, was there any sign of arrhythmia? No. And was your fasting blood sugar high?
He
didn't even do any of the blood work because he got up and after they handed him the paperwork and they were like, okay, you know how they usually, go to the desk. And, I'm sure that's when they would have scheduled his blood work, but he just left. So he didn't even have the blood work done. And he just had the blood work done in,
probably 6 or 7 months ago.
Yeah, at his neurologist this year, and everything was great. We had that video with all of his blood work. Laura S. said, reversing my diabetes is something I worked hard on and very proud of. Exactly. Right. Exactly. And then to be dismissed like that, like, I just can't stand that. I had a doctor when I was a teenager, and she basically would call me a liar. She was just like, that's not true. You're not eating like that, blah, blah, blah. You're missing stuff. And that's how it feels when you have a doctor who's like, oh, you can never reverse it. Like they're calling you a liar.
Because honestly, y'all, when we first started this, I'm making a joke and saying that she forced me into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was basically half-assed keto. Because I was still working construction. I still go through the drive-thru and eating all my carbs. I ordered the burger and fries and everything. I go through Jack in the Box, Taco Bell and everything. And it wasn't until that doctor called me and told me to stop taking the metformin because I was no longer diabetic. And that was, like I said, that was just half-ass keto.
Yeah.
That's what cued me in on it.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, all right, I'm keto for life now.
Right.
And I saw, it helped. I saw all the benefits it did for you while you were still in the hospital.
Yeah.
And then, you forced me into watching Dr. Barry with you and everything. And then that's what did it for me.
Yeah.
And then that's what was awesome too. That's what I love about Dr. Barry. That's why I'm always preaching him. Is after I was diagnosed as MS, I messaged him and he told me to go as low carb as I can because that would help me the most. And if y'all wonder what we're fixing to cut up here, those of y'all that watched Friday night, last couple of weeks now, we've started a new tradition, and this is our new weekend thing we're doing. Every Friday night, we're gonna make a new batch of the Ketochow fudge. We'll show y'all us making it. We're putting it in the fridge, and then Sunday we're gonna reveal it to y'all and taste it. And what flavor is this one we did now?
This is gingerbread. Oh,
what are you doing, Heath? Here, you do that before I hurt myself.
Well, I want to read comments. You could do that. 22Q Cat said it'd be nice if these docs would actually read through your medical chart and know what's going on. Exactly. But no, they weren't going to do that. Oh, thank you. And Sean said, same, Laura. They keep calling you diabetic because you can't get your one free well visit from them if you're a diabetic. They just want your money. Oh, wow. Renee said, most docs read a little blip on the chart hanging outside your door just as they enter your room.
Right.
Piss poor. Old standards used to be 120/80, updated many years ago to 110/70. And that's exactly what Heath's was, 110/70. Renee said, I have white coat syndrome no matter where I go. Right, because if I'm actually relaxed at home, then I'm good. But yeah, going somewhere, and I think a lot of it is I think I get a little anxiety because I have noticed that the last time I went to the doctor, I started getting real anxious going there. I'm still haven't eaten this one. And so I can tell my blood pressure is going to be high because I can feel it because I feel like it's because, I had to deal with the traffic and parking and then getting in and
my me being late.
Right. And then, trying to find where it's at and just getting everything together. And I just get all worked up. It's not a relaxing experience, right? 22Q Cat said, yep, so they don't need to get so annoyed with me when I start explaining things they should have already read in my heart.
Right.
Renee, and that white coat syndrome is real. Right. Yeah, exactly. And it is annoying.
Do we need the parchment paper in this container?
No.
Oh.
But you should finish the bacon ones first. Because I don't know how long on the bacon.
You know what I'm going to do then? I'm just going to get another one of these containers and put all this in it. And because this one needs to be washed anyways once we finish it.
Mm-hmm. Sean said they used to take my fasting blood sugar in the office with one of their gluconomers. He said they didn't do any of that.
Like you said, though, I made a left early on them.
Yeah, exactly. Renee said, yes, palm sweat, heart rate, blood pressure go way up, but my docs know me and ask my readings, etc. Yeah, that's what happens. I get ugh, and I just feel it, I'll feel that ooh, just this anxious feeling. And yeah, it's just not going to do well. But if I'm at home, especially if I'm at work, y'all, if I'm at work, ooh, those are wide. If I'm at work, then I feel a little bit, I'm a lot more relaxed, and then I can take it then and I'll be like, oh, okay, so I'm good. And then 22Q Cat said the fudge. I like to do right here.
Why don't you show me?
22Q Cat I'm sorry. Rickwood said, all docs like Dr. Berry, Dr. Sivas, and Dr. Bickman say what to count is triglycerides, HDL, and insulin. Exactly. It's pretty good. You definitely get the gingerbread flavor.
It's amazing. I'm happy we did that one because that's the first time we've ever done it. You're done with the Ultima, right?
Yeah.
I'm just clearing some of that stuff off. This is bothering me. Sorry I'm getting up and running around, folks. I get anxious. And I fidget. I don't know if you noticed.
What? You fidget? That's why I'm like, how is his blood pressure always so normal in the office? And he's like this at home. And mine isn't, you know?
Because I'm just, you think mine would be higher because I hate waiting.
I know. That's what I mean.
Spend a lot of time in the office there just waiting on them to come and see you. Mm-hmm. And it's a huge freaking waste of time.
TWTQ Cat said, I check my blood pressure all the time myself. So when they get a reading of 2,000 over 1,000, I tell them it's not right. Slight exaggeration there. I would hope so, because I would think if it did read 2,000 over 1,000, you probably wouldn't be there.
I'm trying to clear it.
No, it's not even on camera.
I get one more.
And there's more. You can put my cup of chocolate. There's chocolate on the board. Shauna said, I had a nurse at the BP clinic use wrong size cuff. Hurt so bad, felt like she was breaking my arm, and the capillaries in my hand exploded. Oh, I think I remember that. And see, that's the other thing. You know, that'll affect it too, because if you're not comfortable, what do you think's going to happen? Shauna said, I yelled at her to take it off, and she said, well, your pressure is high. And I said, yeah, because you tried to break my arm. Exactly. You were like, of course it's high. Yours would be too if somebody was trying to break your arm.
We're telling the story about your arm. How the doctor did for you, remember? When he's trying to reset it?
Oh, yeah, when they snapped it in place. But they said that's normal.
But that's still scary, though.
Renee said, I have to recheck people all the time because machines aren't always right. I can look at a patient and see it's not right when machine says 149 over 110, especially if they have arrhythmias. Right.
That's it. For
exactly.
Now on, every time I need to do the thing, I'm just going to go visit Renee and get her to do it.
Yeah, there we go. She said she'll give me free PT advice now.
Right.
Sean said, work stresses me out more than the doctor's office. I have blue collar.
Right? That's awesome.
That's probably
Sean, you're amazing. I'm so glad you're a member of the Horde.
Shauna said she needed to take it again, and I refused and made a formal complaint. She was so rude. Well, good for you. Yeah, like you should know that. If you're getting a patient, you should know. That's why they have different size cuffs. And Renee said, and many times those machines inflate according to the last person what's trending. So they inflate for past the suggested 180. Yeah, I've seen them do that. I'm like, why are you going so freaking high? Like, come on, lady.
What's that about?
Yeah. Sharon said, okay.
Hey.
My break time is over. Need to wash up dishes from tomatoes and then see about helping Steph in the wood shop later, y'all. Bye,
I'm
Sharon.
so excited to see the wood shop too when we go visit.
I know. Renee said, it's your right to insist on a manual BP. Oh, that's good to know.
Thank you.
That's good to know. But yeah, the only thing I can tell from is EKG. And I don't know how concerning it should be, but the one number, it said normal range is like 60 to 100 or something, and his was 59. And when I looked it up, it says then that means his heart pumps slower, like it takes slower to get his blood pumped. Mm-hmm. But it said that could also be like if your electrolytes are low, that could cause that to go down. And since all he'd had that morning was nothing but water.
No, I had that one fasting drink.
What one fasting drink? You didn't tell me this.
This one.
Oh, why did you have that?
Because I was fasting. And that's for fasting.
Oh, Lord.
And plain water is like prison rations.
So maybe, I don't know. Oh, we got this for free.
And we've had it for almost a year now, seems like.
I think 2 years, because I thought we got it from when we went to KetoCon.
Yeah.
Maybe it has been a year.
At least a year.
Calcium, iron, all of that. I don't know. Anyways, I thought it was because you didn't have any electrolytes, because you said you weren't drinking anything. So.
Well, that's the only thing I drank was this. And I didn't even drink a full one. I was only like, I sipped on it on the way there. And I actually finished it the next day.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I don't know. It could have just been the reading for him being off guard. I don't know how accurate EKGs are, since he never had one before, Renee. Like, should we be really concerned, or that's something?
If I take a picture and send you, that's what I should have. Should have posted a picture of that in here too.
But should that be something, or is it kind of like a blood pressure where you get different readings different times? And again, when I Googled it, it said, well, it could be if your electrolytes are low, or if certain things are happening that could cause that to be a little bit lower. I don't know. But I don't see how a weight loss drug would help with that.
Right. I take enough pills. I don't need to. I have a prescription. That's enough. If I didn't have MS, I wouldn't have any prescriptions. Right.
And then Renee said, fasting for doc means nothing but water. She said, fasting for a keto diet, etc., means okay to use that mix. Even so, the numbers he got seemed fine. Okay, good.
Like I said, I didn't even drink the whole thing.
Right. Well, yeah. But it didn't matter because they didn't even do blood work because you ran out.
So I could have had my tea or whatever on the way.
Right. But I was like, but that could have been one of the reasons why it was a little bit lower. And then plus you were frustrated because you got lost trying to get there. Mm-hmm. Sean said, my job is stressful because I'm one of the only people that does what I do, so they count on me a lot. Oh, goodness.
Well, like I told my boss, heavy is the head that wears the crown.
I've got better at handling the stress and telling them they have to wait. I learned to say nope.
On other news.
Oh.
Y'all remember Friday night when I burned myself on the crepe maker? I don't know if I need to come up and show y'all, but I have no pain. And there's no actual. Do you even see a mark on my hand?
Mm-mm. Yeah, I don't see any marks.
I got my hand away fast enough.
Right? Or just being keto, you heal faster, especially since you're very meat heavy.
Yes.
Renee said, if one thing was only off by a digit, it should be fine. You can call your neuro and they can request the records. That's true. My gynecologist runs all my stuff and sends to PCP. Yeah, maybe that's what you should just do from now on, just be like, no, my neurologist runs all that.
Well, I think it's also good too. I think it's a mark in my favor or whatever. Now my neurologist only schedules me to see him every 6 months.
Right.
And the last 2 MRIs I had said there's no new lesions.
Yeah,
and
I think that's good.
Really credits it to my diet.
Right. And I'm sorry, I just feel like a specialist might be a little bit better than a PCP, you know? Because it seemed like the PCP
went to school longer.
that you saw was just one of those, get them in and out, get them in and out, get them in and out, and not really spending time. And then the fact that his first course of treatment is a weight loss pill. I'm like, so he's just in the pocket of the pharmaceutical company, like the GLP-1s. Isn't that what they're called? I was like, I wonder which weight loss med he would have recommended. Like, is it the, was it, I don't even know their names, but I was like, I wonder if that's what he would have done.
Works.
Like, no, it's like Genovia or something. I don't know. But I was like, so that's all he, no, it seems like he's the doctor. No matter what your ailment is, a weight loss pill is what you need. Right?
Right. Well, your only tool is the hammer. Or what did I say? Hold on. I don't remember. There's a saying for that, though.
Sean said, my sister Karen calls me up and asks me computer stuff all the time.
We do it too. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
And you know, you're the resident computer guru of the Horde.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Sean said, let me guess, Ozempic. Yeah, I wondered which it would be. But see, he wanted him to then get the blood work done and then follow up in 2 weeks where he was going to give him the prescription. So that's why I was like, I wonder which one it was. And I doubt they probably had signs up in the office, but you probably did not see a single sign, did you?
No, I gave him a sign.
Renee said, don't get me started on those, Sean. I mean, that's what I figured it had to be. Why else? Isn't that weird? Now that those pills have come out, now we're hearing these doctors, this, like, it seemed like it used to be statin, everything. And now it seems like they're really trying to push these weight loss pills.
Right.
Shauna said, Genovia is Princess Bride country. Wajovia is probably what you're thinking. Maybe that's what it is.
That's awesome.
Rickwood said, actually, I found that the physician's assistants are usually more up to date on things, and they seem to have the time to listen to patients. Oh, that's true. You could go to a nurse practitioner or physician assistant.
Well, the nurse was a lot, her bedside manner was a lot better. And actually, my nurse, I always see it from a neurologist. And she's always really cool like that, too.
Sean said, I'm happy to be the unofficial nerd herder for the Horde. I love that. Nerd herder.
Shauna, it's a new sticker we need to get for somebody.
And then Shauna said, but I think both of those weight loss aren't pills, but injections. Nope. Oh, okay. See, nope. I have no idea what is what when it comes to that kind of stuff. Well, whatever the weight loss pill would be, I guess, or maybe it was an injection.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Furthermore, I don't care because I'm not going to do it.
Right, exactly. Like, as soon as you heard that, you were like, okay, I'm out. Done. And well, the diabetes thing, you were like, okay. And then when he did the weight loss, you're like, there's the nail in the coffin. Mm-hmm. Renee said, people are abusing the diabetic meds. I have friends that are looking completely anorexic. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Many of them healthcare workers, it's addicting to lose so much weight. And what I've heard from various things, I don't deep dive into it because I'm not going to do it. Because I remember when I was a teenager, one of my teachers I was really close to, she was like, oh, you should go get that bypass surgery. Mm-hmm. And I had a couple people and she was like, oh, look at so-and-so, they bypass surgery. And I was just like, you know what? If I'm going to have to take an injection or a pill or have surgery to lose weight, it's just not worth it to me. I'm going to be who I'm going to be. This is me. You're either going to accept me or you're not, but I'm going to accept myself as is because I don't want to do something where I have to get a surgery or have to get injections in order to lose weight. I guess it's just not that important to me to go through all of that. I'm just like, you know what? No, I'm just going to accept me. If I lose weight, then I'll lose weight. I'm just going to try to be as healthy as I can. And that's just the way it's going to be, right? I try to make healthy decisions and hopefully stay healthy. And that's just, that what else? I just don't want to do any of that. And so anyways, long story, but what I've heard about is a lot of times they're losing a lot more lean muscle and all it's doing is turning down their crate or satiety, right? It makes them not be hungry. And I'm just like, you know what, and I've heard people talk about how expensive it is. I'm like, but there's this thing called fasting.
Right.
And fasting, you actually reserve your muscle. And once you've done it long enough, you don't get hungry. Like you feel satiated a lot sooner. And I know I haven't really done any long fast in a couple months, y'all, since I think June. But I am going to try to do a 24-hour fast this week. I know. I'm thinking like on Wednesday, I'll have my lunch and then I just won't have dinner. I figure that'll be the easiest for me, because I can have lunch, have my usual lunch, and then basically 24 hours later will be lunch the next day. So I'm just skipping dinner. That's it. That's a 24-hour fast. I'm just skipping one meal because I normally only have two. But even though...
See, growing up, that was a punishment. You go to bed without dinner.
Even though I haven't, done extended, I still do intermittent fasting. Like I was even keeping track this past week. I was like, well, I know that basically I don't eat breakfast. I wait until my lunch is typically at 2:00, sometimes 3:00 in the afternoon, and then try to eat dinner by 6 p.m. So I was like, I basically have a 4-5 hour eating window. So that should mean I'm fasting about 18 hours. So this week I really worked on only having water. So not even my coffee, like I wasn't counting the coffee. So just water fasting alone, I was doing an easy 16 hours of just water. And then I would then stop the count when I had my coffee, because I know my coffee's got a lot of fat in it. But even then, just doing I basically water fast every day, 15 to 17 hours, depending on the day. I think that's pretty good. And that just comes naturally for me. But I have not done any further extended fast. And I'm just like, that to me, if that's what you're needing is something to control your eating, a better and cheaper would just be to start introducing intermittent fasting and extended fasting. And I know those of you like Laura that does it and others, once you get in that cycle, you really don't get the real hungry all the time. Like it does actually lower your hunger signals. Huh. And Sean said Genovia was the Princess Diary, right? Nerd herder, right? Mary T said the Ozempic thing that is going on is criminal. Right. It just is like, why are we pushing that? And then, I do feel bad for actual diabetics, because I've had some of my Facebook friends that are like, I can't find it anywhere. And this is the thing that's really helping with my diabetes, when of course I want to say something else, but anyhow, so I feel bad for them. But if you're just using it, like, what are the long-term effects? Right. And I was hearing one of them, they said, we don't know what's going to happen to people after doing it for 10 years, because they haven't done the studies of people who have been on it for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. What's going to happen to them? And I've just always been the person that I'm like, if it can't come from nature, then it's just not going to happen for me.
Well, speaking of not knowing the results or whatever, the known effects, we're already seeing people start looking and seeing the long-term effects of the SAD.
Oh, right. Exactly.
All the crap.
Yeah. And that's why we're having this issue with people having to take Ozempic and all of that.
Yeah.
It's because nobody's talking about the actual food part of it.
Right.
Shada said it was the country the queen was from, Julie Andrews. So I bet they had good salami. And Sean said, I had bypass surgery. I don't regret much in life, but that's what I kind of regret for sure.
Sorry.
And I'm sorry that happened. And that's it. And I hear mixed reviews on that, because I've, my coworker had it done, and I had another coworker that had it done, and they absolutely love that they had it done. I mean, it does have its challenges, right? Because like she says, she has to basically graze all day. And I think that's how he was too, because he couldn't eat too much. And then I had it done, and they did it too tight on her. And she suffered for years. That her thing, what made her the most upset is that she never lost weight. Wow. And then the doctors would basically blame her. They're like, well, you had this surgery. I don't know why you haven't lost anything. And that to me is like so hurtful, because anybody who's going to go through the surgery, that's your last resort. Like you are like, well, I feel like I have failed at everything. Maybe this will help me. And you get it done, and then you still don't get the results. And then the doctor's blaming you. Like, That's just like
that's
putting
criminal.
the knife and just turning it.
Right.
And I know she was really upset and everything. And she finally found another doctor who was like, oh yeah, I see the problem here. They put it way too tight. And then when they loosened it up, she finally had a little bit, but it's not what she wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, it's so hard. But again, I've had people who were very appreciative of it. But my thing is, when I saw like that person when I was in high school and seeing and then I met, of course, other people, and I was just like, you know what? I'd rather just be fat, y'all. Honestly, I'd rather be fat. And I was like, well, that's how I'm going to be. I'll just accept being fat. Maybe that's just how it's going to be. But I don't want to go through that. And I don't want because my thing was, as I heard, like 50-50, I was like, it's too high of a risk that I'm not going to be happy for me. So that's why I was like, I don't want to do that. Laura S. said, so many women here in my little town went to Mexico and got the stomach surgery, and I've seen them just drop the weight. It's frustrating for me, tried so hard to lose it. Yeah, but then again, you don't know, again, the long term, how they're going to do and what's their actual health. Just because somebody loses weight doesn't mean they're healthy.
Right.
Renee knows this. She treats lots of very sick individuals that would be considered the perfect weight. And they're so sickly all the time.
But
so
what are one of the first things we're taught as kids?
What?
Not to judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
But they base how you look on your health.
Yeah.
It's exactly in contradiction to judging a book by its cover.
Yeah, exactly. It is. Sean said, the way I feel about it is everything you do has both good and bad effects on your body. Do the good benefits outweigh the bad? For this, meds, people are only seeing the good because the bad hasn't happened yet.
Right.
Right. And that's the scary part, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. Is there's good and bad, and you just don't know which is going to end up being better.
Well, like I tell folks too that told me that keto's too expensive. You pay the doctor, or you pay the farmer now, or you pay the doctor later.
And
either
I'm
way,
like,
you're going to spend the money.
But I'm like, how do they say it's too expensive? Because have you seen the prices of the junk that people eat?
Right.
And when you're that addicted to, because those food, like we were listening to one of our favorite comedians right now. He was doing one about Doritos, and they said when people come from other countries, it's like Doritos is the new crack, and they'll be there and they're like, oh, I never had a Dorito, but a friend offered it to me and now I can't stop. And they're like, I was like, oh, I'll just have one. And they said, and they looked down and 6 bags later, they've eaten all these Doritos.
Right.
And that's why I'm like, yeah, that's the thing, right? Because
that's why
they want to say keto is so expensive, but it's like, but what are you spending on groceries? Because I see, like, I watch people who do like the Kroger ads, and I'm like, I'm so glad I don't have to spend my money on that crap. Like, yeah, that might be a little more expensive, but I got 3 pounds of beef for less than $9, and that'll give us several meals.
I think our food bill has actually gone down.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's not even talking about, okay, yeah, so you think sad is so cheap, but yet you're eating like 5-6 meals a day.
Or what's the other thing I told you? I've told a lot. We used to put out 3 trash cans twice a week. Now I put out 2 cans once a week.
Right.
No, I'm sorry. 1 can once a week.
1 can once a week.
Sometimes I don't even need to do that.
But, and I'm like, and they aren't taking into account how much they're spending on medications.
Right.
So just the food and the medications, and it's like, okay, I'm not having to do that. So I don't understand why they think it's expensive, because you're not having to buy anything special. You're just buying regular groceries. Now, some people will get into it. You know, like Mindy Pels is like, oh, you got to get grass-fed, grass-finished, blah, 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 organic this, organic that. I'm like, I don't think you need to. I think you're fine with just eating or just sticking to the outer aisles, and you're fine.
Even Dr. Berry says you can do it on Spam and hot dogs.
Exactly. Tway Cat said, I'm glad I don't need or want Ozempic. You know, I'm way too cheap to pay that much for it. Exactly. People are spending a fortune on that stuff to lose weight. Just eat right, you know.
Well, that's why I even tell my customers when they start apologizing
Hey,
for being cheap. Because like a lot of times they'll call in. I'll get them a lot of times they'll call me and like, well, hey, I just bought this oven and I just see that it went on sale. So I want to get the price match to it. That's awesome. Good on you, brother. Do it. Yeah. And then they're like, well, I'm sorry for being so cheap. I'm like, no. I said, I deplore that word. I say you're being budget conscious.
Exactly.
I said, more power to you. I said, I love shopping. I even give, I tell her, I said, my wife, she'll use a coupon on a coupon if it'll save us some money.
I did at the Kroger beef, because the Kroger beef was on sale for $2.97 a pound. We bought the 3-pound chub for $8.97.
Right.
But I also had a $1.25 off coupon, so I got it for $7.72.
Because
that's a coupon on a coupon.
Remember, we'll even have the coupons, and I'll still buy the markdown meat. So that's 2 markdowns right there.
Oh yeah, I've done that before.
Because they'll try and not let you. Sometimes they'll try and not let you use the coupon for the markdowns.
Yeah, some of the markdowns.
Going back then.
Right, but like sometimes I'll get the Kroger. It'll be like if you buy $30 worth of meat, you save $6. I just go to the discount.
Or remember that I think it was the bacon that time. It was like there was a deal of like 2 for $3 or something like that. I'm not 2 for whatever. It was the special they were running, but they had the markdown in there. It ended up being cheaper. We saved more money by not buying a markdown.
Oh yeah, sometimes. And I agree too. Just eat right. Well, here's the thing: most people don't understand what eat right is.
That's true too.
Because it's such a wild variation out there on what is eating right. Even in the keto space, there's wild definitions on what people think is eating right.
I think that's their problem when they say it's expensive, because they're looking at all the keto products.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's what they're
saying. I think that's when people are like, just eat right. They don't I think your average person, now I feel like everybody here, you're a lot more educated.
Yes.
But your average person, there's so many varying opinions out there on what is healthy that I think some people have I don't give a shit, and they're just going to eat what they're going to eat because they're like, it's too confusing. Mediterranean, plant-based, keto, vegan, carnivore, everybody has their opinion on what is healthy. So I think a lot of people are just like, nobody knows, so I'm just going to eat what I'm going to eat. It doesn't matter. Right? They just give up because there's so much information.
And there's so much misinformation too.
Well, right, exactly. Even last night I went to the restroom, and this kind of ticked me off. There's 2 stalls, right? In the female restroom. I walk in and immediately there's 2 ladies standing there. So to me, that means they're waiting on the stalls. But I guess I should have verbalized. But I'm not a friendly person out, right? So I'm just standing there. They're talking about being plant-based. One lady said, I had to do it for my arthrosclerosis. So I've been plant-based for 3.5 years. It has so helped me. And then the other woman's like, I watched, I don't know what the movie was. And so I've tried it. My daughter, she's been vegan for years now. Now, on your vegan, do you eat dairy and cheese and, seafood? Which I'm like, okay, first of all, y'all obviously don't understand the terms. And she goes, oh, yeah, sometimes I'll have a little dairy. She goes, but, meat's just not even appealing. And I'm like, I just was being really quiet. I was like having to really hold my tongue there. And then the other lady was like, she goes, oh yeah, my daughter, she just couldn't get away from cheese. So she'll still eat cheese and some dairy, but she's vegan. And I'm like, okay, that's not how it works. And then a person comes out of one stall with their like teenage daughter anyhow.
That's a whole other story.
Yeah. And she's with the one woman who was talking about her daughter. So I don't know if that was the daughter and the granddaughter there. But anyways, they come out. The granddaughter doesn't even wash her hands. She just stands next to grandma, which I'm like, okay, I don't get all this. But anyways, I'm very judgmental. The one woman washes her hands. The other woman who was talking to her is still just standing there. And I'm like, can we go? Like, I need to actually use the restroom.
That's the whole reason I came in here.
And so finally she goes into that stall. They say their goodbyes. She goes into the stall. And I'm like, okay, so is this other person ever going to come out? I was like, well, I'm going to do the light. And I just slowly try to open. And there's nobody in that stall. And I was like, are you telling me that this whole time I've been standing here listening to these morons,
cackleheads,
and there was a stall that was open? Like, why didn't the one lady use that stall? And then why didn't you say, oh, we're just chatting, that one's open? I was so mad. I was like, these people are idiots. Let's leave.
Because they didn't eat enough meat.
Right. Maybe if they actually ate, I should have said that. If y'all would eat a ribeye, maybe you'd be more courteous and follow decorum here. But Renee said, and she was telling Laura, they are going to also experience worse issues like muscle wasting. That's what I've heard a lot of. Iron dumping. And I never heard this before because my coworker who had the surgery, she said she gets dumping sometimes. If she eats too much sugar, too fast, she gets dumping, and apparently it feels like crap. So is iron dumping the same thing? Hair loss, fatigue, along with emotional irregularities. Wow. Brenda F is here. Hey Brenda. She goes, hello, how are you doing? Laura S said, but I still see them posting about eating the way they used to. So eventually they're going to gain it back. I'm just going to keep eating good, clean food. Exactly. And it's not like, to me, I'm like, keto food's freaking delicious. Like, I don't know why people are hesitant to eat it, because it's so good and it's so easy to me.
Well, I think one of the things is, like, because I'm a huge smartass.
Oh, yeah.
And my mom has always been on all the different little diets back and forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I'm trying to tell her and my stepdad about it, he immediately throws it up. He says, nope, I ain't doing it. I ain't going crazy. I ain't doing one of these crazy diets. Remember how I told you I wanted to invite them over for
right.
I ain't eating keto. Like, I just want to do steak, steak and eggs, or steak and like
pork belly
and whatever, and put on a huge nice spread like that and tell them, nope, you can't have it because that's keto.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Renee said, my sister had surgery and lost over 200, gained it all back, and deals with CHF and other swelling issues. And see, that's my thing. Even if, let's just be nice and hope, they don't gain their weight back. Mm-hmm. But we know if you're constantly eating inflammatory foods, you might not gain weight. Like that, like Dr. Berry said, is like, that's the easy way, right? People who have gained weight, actually, that's a better sign than somebody who has not.
All right. You don't
and
know.
Instead, they have tons of visceral fat. So they're the skinny fat. But they're like, but I'm not, look at me. And I can eat these Doritos, and I can eat this and that and this and that, and I don't gain weight. But how are you health-wise? And the scary part about that is a lot of people who are skinny fat, they don't get the blood works and stuff done because the doctor's like, oh, you look fine.
Yep.
Because there's such a huge discrimination against people who are heavy versus skinny people, because immediately people assume you're skinny, you're healthy.
Right.
And it's the same thing, like I've talked before about my brother. He smoked since he was a teenager, and he's
eats. What, 4 years older than you?
No, he's 6 years.
Oh, wow.
So he's mid-50s. I'm surprised still alive, honestly. So he smokes since he was a teenager.
And always drinks, too.
And
every time we've ever gone out
to the
restaurant, he always orders at least 3 cocktails.
Long Island's.
Yeah.
That's his favorite. And he eats nothing but complete crap. Like, if he could live off of Little Debbie's, mm-hmm. he would. He eats nothing but packaged foods.
It's either frozen, like microwave stuff, or he gets Uber delivered stuff all the time.
But because he is skinny, and he is, like, I think he wears, I knew he wore dirty pants. Mm-hmm. Then they never do, and then plus he doesn't like going to the doctor, so he only goes to the doctor
if he has to.
If he actually has to, and even then he might not. Like, he had a horrible toothache for months, mm-hmm. and he would not go to the dentist. And then finally, my mother forced him to go because he was just in so much agonizing pain. And then he had to take antibiotics before they could even fix the tooth.
Right.
And it just made it a whole lot worse. But that's how he is. And I'm like, it's going to catch up with him. So what? He looks skinny. And people, if we are side by side, they would assume he's the healthy person.
Right.
Rickwood said, I have read that those people who try to get off these injections have gained back all fat and no muscle.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. See, and that, you're stuck. And that, like, going back to his friend, oh, well, you can never get off keto. Well, if you're getting on those injections, it sounds like you could never get off the injections.
Right. At least what I'm doing is all natural.
Laura said, I naturally fast 18 to 20 hours daily and eat 2 meals. I'm like it. I'm never hungry. Exactly.
Well, that's why I tell people too. I fast at least 8 hours a day.
Yeah, because you're asleep.
Yeah. So that's why the first meal is called breakfast.
Right. And you figure out what works for you. But see, that's how I am too, Laura, is I can, if I just do strict water fast, it's an easy 15 to 17 hours, just water. Now, if I go from when I have if I don't count, like if I include my coffee as part of my fasting window, then yeah, I'm easily at 20 hours before I actually have a meal. But like, like today I had that piece of chicken. I told him, I was like, I don't think I'm going to eat till dinner tomorrow night because I was so bloated, but I did have that piece of chicken and my Brazil nuts. So I'm going to try to incorporate Brazil nuts more, because those are supposed to be really good source of selenium. And so we're going to see how that goes. But yeah, just fasting, I think once you get into it, at least for me, and I think it depends, this is what I found lately, is that I think I've always had a thyroid belly, and I think I've always had thyroid issues, but they usually show up normal. But when I was thinking back, because I was watching some Mindy Pell stuff on thyroid, I was like, yeah, that's what happens to me. And they said that, fasting is actually good for your thyroid, not long fast, but like intermittent fasting or 24-hour fast are actually good for the thyroid. And I was like, yeah, when I do more fasting and I do more of the 24, 36-hour fast, I feel so much better than when I'm not fasting, like the last couple months of not fasting at all. Well, I mean, I can't say it all, but not doing any 24-hour, 36-hour fast, I haven't felt the best. And I was like, yeah, so it's probably something about that. So I was reading, have more selenium and iron and all these different things. So I'm trying to do a little more of that. 22Q Cat said, it's not always easy, no matter if you have surgery, use GLP-1 or do keto, etc. You still have to put in the work. Nothing's magical, but I think keto is pretty close. Right?
Remember Mary Jo? Well, her problems. She had the surgery.
Yeah, a good friend of ours. She'd had the surgery way back, and she already had like a bad liver or kidneys, and that ultimately her in. And she even said, she goes, I did the surgery for vanity reasons. They would recommend, because she had, I think, a bad liver or kidney or whatever, she was never supposed to drink alcohol, but she just couldn't stop herself.
Right. And then but I think also because her husband couldn't, so they fed into each other.
Right. And then it ultimately, they said, because she had the surgery, it was just so, her body was already weak, and that didn't help things, and it made it even worse. And she ended up passing away young. She was only like, 55? It was really sad. It was really hard. She was an amazing person.
Right.
But yeah, it still requires work, right? You still have to be conscious of what you're doing. Nothing in life is free.
All right. I don't know if I should do it or not, but I'm going to anyways. But y'all vote for me right now. Should I go see that doctor again, or should I just blow him off?
Sean said, Shelly, you're doing the right thing. If you're feeling healthy and have good numbers, then just keep doing what you're doing. Right. That's what what else? What's the alternative?
All right.
Sean said, laugh out loud. I saw that comedian. Yeah, Josh Johnson. I think he's hilarious.
I want to see him live.
Yeah. Renee said, and I myself can tell you, I didn't lose over 100 pounds way. I got lots of compliments on how I was looking as the pounds came off, so it fed the monster. I was sick and tons of arrhythmias.
Oh, no.
I've kept it off the right way, but I went through several issues of passing or blacking out from heart issues, malnutrition, but I was looking good. Stupid mentality, but when you're in it, you can't see the forest through the trees and won't listen to anyone try to tell you differently.
Right, that's true.
Exactly, because when that becomes your focus, and I'm going to be honest, I've seen that focus in the keto community, and it doesn't have a good result. When people in the keto community only look at weight loss, I have seen over the years, they eventually are no longer keto. I've seen that multiple times. Or they do something else because they move on because they're like, oh, I lost it at the beginning. Now I'm not. Now it's not working. So now I'm going to do something else.
Or the ones that are cyclical keto and like, well, it doesn't work. So I'm going to try this now.
Right. That's, yeah. And it's just like, yeah, if all you're focused on is losing weight, there's so many alternatives out there. If that's all you care about is weight loss.
Right.
Then you could do that anyway. Like Dr. Berry said, he could lock you in a barn and you will lose weight. But if your focus is on health, I think you approach it and your mentality towards keto, low carb, carnivore is different when you're like, you know what? I'm trying to make sure that I don't eat inflammatory foods like almond flour.
Well,
and that I'm going to try to make good, healthy options that I know. To me, it's it lines up perfectly when it comes to finances, right? You got to take care of today's you, or you got to make choices today to take care of tomorrow's you. That's the same for finances, and it's the same for health. Yeah, you can lose weight, but what about tomorrow's you? You got to make those healthy choices now.
I know it's probably bad, or you don't really want to hear it, but it's kind of good that you got sick from eating all that.
Yeah,
now you know to avoid it from now on.
Right.
Because remember years ago, before we were keto, we'd always go to that one restaurant to get the fried chicken. Your mother loved,
I know, and I'd be so
every
miserable.
single time you would get sick.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't the fried chicken did to you. It's the oils that were cooking
it was the oils.
and the seasonings.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was seasoning. It was the oil. Because even now, if I go somewhere and have soybean or canola oil, I get sick.
Speaking of what we ordered last night, there's two different options for the Brussels sprouts. One of them said it had soy. We specifically picked the other one. Did not.
Yeah. There's a paleo Brussels sprouts is how it was on the actual menu. Mm-hmm. And that one used regular soy, or the keto said gluten-free soy. So, Sean said Doritos used to be one of my many vices. I could eat a whole bag of those with the Frito-Lay's cheddar jalapeno dip.
Yes.
Right.
Me too, man.
Yeah, that's, I remember Doritos.
Honestly, I used to. Remember how many times we'd go to the store, we'd buy at least 2 big bags of Tostitos, corn chips.
Yeah, you love those things.
And I would eat those for almost every meal. Mm-hmm. In fact, when they got down to the crumbs in the bag, you couldn't dip anymore, I'd pour them in a bowl and pour the salsa over that and eat it like cereal.
Mm-hmm. Mary T said, why are they spending on Doritos in restaurants? Even fast food costs $50 for a family.
Right?
Exactly. It's crazy. Renee said, when I did seek help, a doc wanted to send me to a weight loss surgeon. I was under 110 pounds at that point. What the F? Yeah.
That's somebody getting a kickback. That's what that's the only way that you can make sense of that.
Or somebody who's like, oh, so the only way you'll be able to make sure you don't gain weight is we gotta do a bypass surgery.
Right.
Susan Rodriguez, welcome. Howdy. I've been dealing with some heart issues. Oh, goodness. When my doctor reviews my blood work, all in normal ranges, including A1C of 4.7. That's awesome. Carbs, that is my solutions. No, I am not changing from a ketovore. These doctors are a hot mess. Way to go.
Thank you.
4.7. That is amazing. That is great. Way to go. Yeah, it's just like, okay, here's my blood work. You see it's good. And I think that's why his neurologist is also like, yeah, you keep doing it because he sees his blood work and he's like, oh,
and
wow.
no new lesions. I think it's the two together.
Well, those two, but I'm saying like he sees your blood work and he's like, it's all good. And again, I think a lot of people on the SAD, they don't go to the doctor until something bad happens.
Well, that's me.
Mighty Healthy Michelle said, every Tuesday and Friday, we have a surgeon do EGDs all day on patients that are going to have or have had bypass surgery. If only I could talk to them on how they can help themselves a better way. Right? Right. You're just like, oh, man, there's other options out there.
And the bad part about it, you're probably not allowed to do that.
Well, no, definitely she couldn't be allowed to because so much money in it. But honestly, I feel like a lot of people, they're just not open to hearing that.
Right.
I feel like a lot, at least your average person. Now, again, everybody in here, you had the desire to learn or you wouldn't be keto. You had that desire that you wanted to learn, you wanted to understand, and you wanted to be healthy. I think to your average person, they're just like, what is health? Like, I think, because I have a lot of Facebook friends, and a lot of them are in the mentality, you're either born genetically healthy or you're not. Because a lot of people are sick now, starting from a child because their parents are eating that crap.
Yep.
And while they're pregnant, they're eating that crap. And guess what? And then they grow up eating that crap and they're starting to see it earlier and earlier. So instead of them saying, oh, it could be the food, they're just like, oh, I just have bad genetics.
What do they call it? Childhood diabetes?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and they just think it's genetics. So telling them, hey, because I've seen and you'll say, well, no, if you do that, they're like, no, that's, elitist or whatever.
Right.
It's
that's not normal.
Right. They're like, no, there's nothing into that because they hear
I talked to my doctor. He said this.
Right. They're like, no, this is just what it is. I'm just sick.
Or like, remember, whenever I went to my dad's memorial thing where they were planning everything for him.
Yeah.
Talking to my uncle. And we're sitting in the table here just discussing everything. And he's known me my whole life, right? He saw how big I used to be. And he was just so impressed with how much weight I've lost and how good I'm doing and everything. And he's asking me about how he can do it too and everything. And sitting right in front of him is a bowl of like hard candy, little candies, right? He's sitting there eating them as he's I wish I could lose weight like that as he's pumping the candies in his mouth. Like, again, me being a smartass, I took the jar and put it across the table where he couldn't reach it. I said, well, there's your first step right there.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me like I was crazy. His big old eyes like I was crazy. I said, no, seriously, that's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to stop the madness.
Right. Mary T said, I remind every day how little people know about food and nutrition. They really are. They really don't. Like your average people, they because that's not the first thing doctors do. And now, sadly, if people do get like a routine PCP checkup every year, well, now they're starting to push weight loss pills.
And then that's why I have to go back again, bring up Dr. Barry. That's why I love the name of his book.
Yeah.
Lies My Doctor Told Me.
Exactly.
That is so on point.
But they don't, then they're just like, oh, who are you? You're just another nut job.
Yeah.
And then it's just easier. Most people find it very easy to just continue getting what they're getting. It's too much to think of. There's so much going on in people's lives that they don't want to take on something else, right?
That's honestly, that was my mentality when we first started this. That really was. And like I said, it took that doctor to call me about the metformin that really sent me over.
Renee said, my big mouth would verbally vomit to those patients. Oh, we know. Sean said, I get into arguments with the nutritionist at work because she's pushing all these smoothies filled with carbs. I tell her, that won't work for diabetics. Ask me how I know. Exactly.
And also with those smoothies, aren't not just carbs, but sugar too, right?
Well, yeah. Well, that is the carbs. Well, and what's funny is like you listen to a lot of other doctors out there and stuff, and they're like, smoothies are like the worst thing because first of all, it's not the greatest way to actually get the nutrients from whatever fruits or veggies.
Right.
Like that's not the way you want to do it.
But now there's a whole market out there. The juicing is the end all be all.
Yeah, a lot of people think that's the easiest. Oh, I'll just have a smoothie for breakfast. Michelle said it frustrates me to no end. I bet I don't have a chance to talk to anyone because they are put to sleep right after they get in the room. Oh, that sucks. And you're like, oh, I wish I could tell you.
Can you leave them a note?
Shada said, I wonder if you repeated start keto after they go under if it's subliminally. That would be awesome. That's what I'm saying. Michelle said, I'm not sure if they talked to a nutritionist before their surgery, but we know what info they are getting. Well, and I know my coworker, when she had it, she had to do certain things. Like she had to be low carb before the surgery.
Right.
But I think the gap there is they're like, oh, we want you to do this just to kind of get some weight down. But they don't explain why.
And then once you get the surgery, you're fixed. You don't have to do that anymore.
Right. And I think that's the mentality. But she was said, because like when she had the dumping, she said, yeah, anytime I eat a lot of sugar at once, I get the dumping thing and it just feels miserable. And I'm like, you're almost there.
Put the two and two together.
Mary T said, a gal I work with is a vegetarian. Wine and fries are vegetarian, right?
Right.
Who has long gray hair. You can watch it fall out when she walks by.
Well, that one friend of yours, remember she's vegetarian? Or no, not for yours, but we know her. She was vegetarian for a while, but one of her favorite things to do was go to Sonic and order the grilled cheese sandwiches.
Yeah. Laura S said, no, Heath.
No.
I don't remember what no about. Rickwood said, if you don't trust that doc, for the doctor.
Oh, yeah, they're telling me not to go. Right.
Rickwood said, if you don't trust the doc, then you need to look for a new doc. Going back thinking you're going to change his mind isn't going to work.
It's a fool's errand, right?
Mary T said, only go back if you have to because of your job. So no, he'd have to find another one. There was clinic. Several PCPs.
Yeah. That one was just closed, so that's why we chose it.
Well, and they had availability because there was another one that I was like, oh, I kind of like to go, but they never answered their phone. Shauna said, no, I don't think it's worth the annoyance. I'm pretty sure anything you tell him, he won't listen to.
In one and out the other, right?
Probably true. Sean said, hell no to see that doctor again. There are way too many other doctors out there. Okay. Mighty Healthy Michelle said, when talking to others who are interested in starting keto, we need to tell them that you start losing weight when you start getting healthy. Exactly.
Amen.
Exactly. Get healthy first. Renee said, I get it wanting to go back to the doc for revenge or get a back mentality, but that vibe will never be good there. PCPs, most are big pharma motivated. It'll never work out for you. Okay, y'all are right.
Legalized drug pushers is what they are.
And the big thing is people don't want to give up those addictive foods. They would rather take that miracle drug or magic surgery that'll make everything better. Personally, I found it easier to be keto. That's exactly how I feel too. Because I'm just like, this doesn't require time off of work. Right. I don't have to do anything special. And I find this delicious.
Because honestly, y'all, that's what really, really like floored me. It took the wind out of my sails, really. Is it because how long were we keto whenever I was diagnosed with MS?
I think 2 years.
Because I was like, dude, everything's perfect. I'm going good. I'm losing all this weight. My health's getting better. Then bam, I got hit with the MS. I was like, what? No, this can't be happening because I'm keto. I had to rationalize it in my brain. They're two mutually exclusive things.
Yeah.
Actually, the keto is what's helping me from being
worse off.
Worse with the MS.
Exactly.
And it's helped keep the MS in check.
Because I've seen people that have done that. They're like, oh, I went keto and then 3 months later this happened. And it's like, okay, but you're putting all of your problems on something you just started versus you're not keeping in account that for 45 years you were eating nothing but crap. You know, like what do you think has a bigger impact?
Remember that last job I was working at? I was talking to one of the guys telling him about all the glory stories about me and my keto, right? He's like, well, I tried that for a while. And it made me more sick. So I can't do keto.
Yeah.
It's not healthy for me.
Okay.
So that's in my mind, I'm thinking the proper human diet is not healthy for you.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Caden's here. Hey, Caden said, hey, everyone. Hey, Shelly and Heath listening in the background.
Awesome.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And said, don't go back to that doctor. When a doctor thinks he knows everything, that's a very dangerous person, not to mention the fact that he didn't seem to respect your choice.
Right.
Oh, that's true, 100%.
But also, can I get all of y'all to do me one more favor while you're in here? Go ahead and click that thumbs up button.
Oh, yeah. Thank
Please,
y'all.
It really, really helps.
Close the chat and hit thumbs up and then click again.
Yeah.
ATQ Cat said, look at all of us who feel eating this way isn't hard at all. We get to eat delicious food. People just don't know how easy it can be, and they won't give it a try. That's why our main goal is with our recipes to show that you can go to any grocery store and basically make a meal. Because sometimes I do feel like when you see these keto and carnivore recipes where you're having to order special products, like when I looked up getting the egg white powder, I was like shocked at how expensive it was.
That's one of the reasons why we haven't done those recipes, y'all. Seriously, it's not cost effective.
Well,
talk about it being expensive, keto being too expensive.
Right. And then I feel like that gives the message out there to somebody who is new to this lifestyle. They feel like, oh, now I got to buy this. Because I remember when we first started keto 5 years ago, I was like, oh, I have to get almond flour. Oh, I have to get ghee. Oh, I have to get, MCT oil. Oh, I have to get all these special things to do keto. And so then when we really started our channel, I was like, I want our recipes to be basic recipes. You don't have to do special things. You don't have to buy special ingredients. You go to the store today, buy you some chicken, buy you some romaine lettuce, some cheese, tomatoes, olives. You can make you a salad, and there's a perfectly keto meal.
Another bad stigma we've got out there too. I'm gonna have to call. If you're still tuned in and listening, Rob, I'm gonna call you on the spot. Okay, put you on the spot. He was trying to go keto too.
Oh,
Opportunity, remember?
Yeah.
He thought he hates coffee. He's like me. He doesn't drink it, but he heard everybody preaching up all the bulletproof
coffee.
So he thought he had to drink it to be keto because that's what everybody was promoting at that time.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. There's so many channels out there and so many avenues. Misinformation.
Yeah.
We don't want to fall in the trap of being that's those people also.
Right. Or people who are on SAD and they hear all the carnivore and they think, oh, I have to go carnivore now.
Right.
I can never have an avocado.
Right.
And it's like, no, like, let's just take it in little steps. And you, again, don't need special products. And I feel kind of bad because that's what happened to us.
Yes.
Is I bought all this stuff thinking I had to have that to be keto. Right. And because when I would look for recipes, it was always like, oh, you need almond flour. Oh, you need this. Oh, you need that. And at the time, a lot of that was not available in your grocery store. You had to order off. Yeah. And that's why, like we were thinking, because Heath was like, oh, for our anniversary, I would like that. I want to do that PTSD bread. Mm-hmm. And I looked up the egg white powder and I was like, gosh, that's expensive.
Sure, I love you, but no.
Right. I was like, you really want me to spend the money on that so you could get some loaves of bread?
She goes, you want that? You want a ribeye?
Right. And I was like,
do you want that one loaf of bread or do you want 30 ribeye?
And I was like, we make a lot of stuff using the pork rind crumbs.
Right.
And again, almost every store I've gone to has pork rinds. So all you need is a food processor.
And a little effort, a little elbow grease.
Yeah, and you can make it. You don't need to special order egg white powder. Right. That's so expensive. And I was like, no, because he was like, oh, we get recipes. And I was like, but then
it'll help the channel.
And I was like, yeah, but then we're just promoting, if you want to do keto, if you want this stuff, you got to order these high price things. And then that's what perpetuates keto so expensive.
And there's another second part to that too. That requires a lot of baking, which is her strong suit, not mine. So she's also looking at, we're going to spend all this money and then I'm going to have to do all this work too. So it's another strike against me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not complaining Very valid points, and that's why we're not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to bring up Dr. Berry again. That's why I love it. The 3 things he says: no pills, powders, or potions needed to do this diet correctly.
Mm-hmm.
You just eat real food, and that's all you have to do.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I tell people. They're like, "Oh, keto sounds hard." I'm like, "So do you currently get produce?" Yeah. Okay. Do you currently buy meat? Yeah. Do you get things like cream cheese and butter? Oh, yeah, I like butter. Okay. That's all you need for keto. Just go buy your favorite meat. So, like ground beef. I love ground beef.
Yes.
Get you some ground beef. In fact, this is what we're going to make for dinner. Got ground beef. Yesterday, I got produce marked down on eggplant, yellow squash, green beans, asparagus. All of that was on sale. I was like, so tonight we're going to mix in our ground beef, the eggplant, the yellow squash,
some onions and mushrooms.
Onions, mushrooms, of course, jalapenos. You know how we are. And we have some tomato sauce that's clean that we got at Sam's. Right there. There's our dinner. That's it. Did we need any special products? No.
That's another reason why we love making our own spice blends too.
Yeah.
Because it's so much, it's fun to do, in my opinion, and it's cleaner. I don't have to worry about all the wonky ingredients.
Uh-huh. Caden said exactly. I had no idea my asthma was tied to what I was eating.
Right.
Exactly. And I think that's the
what I
thing.
told my cousin too, because he's always been asthmatic his whole life, using the breathing machine and stuff.
Right. And that's what I think.
But he won't listen to me.
A lot of people don't understand how important food is to your overall health, which if you understand how like y'all who have been in the medical field, you get this. If you know how the body works, food is the gasoline, and it's just like your car. You can either put in gas that your car would run very smoothly on, and then you could take it up a notch just when you get into the organic and all that, and you could do the premium gas.
Right.
Or guess what? You can put some cooking oil in your car or some garbage in your car. It might run for a little bit, but then it's going to have all kinds of issues in all the different parts of the car. That's how your body works. All of these organs in your body, your blood, your lymph nodes, everything works together. It all has to work together, and it needs food. That's its fuel source in order for it to work properly. So you can either give it something that is going to be healthy, that it's going to be like, oh, good, we have a lot of good, clean source here to get fuel, and then we'll process it much better and be highly used. Or you give it crap and it's like, well, I got a little bit of protein here out of that. Oh, I got a little bit of this. Oh, what am I going to do with all this toxic stuff? Mm-hmm. Well, let's send it to the liver. It'll figure it out.
Right.
The gallbladder, we need you to release a few more things here because we got all this toxic stuff. And then the liver's like, oh, I'm so toxic. They just keep sending me more and more toxic stuff. What am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to start putting it here and here and here. And then the liver's all overworked. And that's why we have so many people with fatty liver, because they're eating all this toxic food and nobody goes over. That's why you got it. What do you want to put in your body to make it run correctly? And that's what it comes down to. But people aren't told about that. And a lot of that, yeah, it is the nutrition and the education. They don't understand how the body works. Us that have some medical knowledge, like we get it. We understand how the body actually works, right, and how important it is. But even there, a lot of medical professions still aren't putting it together, right? They're just like, oh, the body can figure it all out. But it's not. It's not. It'll figure it out, but it's not always going to be the best long-term. Right. Renee said, we need to wrap this up. We're over 2 hours. We want to go to Home Depot.
We don't want to go. We're going to go.
I want to go. I want my bat skelly. Renee said, I always told you're just big boned, and even had a doc tell me not to buy exercise equipment for home because I'd always be big and wouldn't benefit. Wow.
Kick him right in the knee.
Right. Well, I was going to say somewhere else. Mary T said, have you ever heard of the kitten experiment?
No.
They fed cats an improper diet and tracked how many generations it took for effed up cats. Well, how many was it? Rickwood said, so crazy. They are too busy to cook their own food. They are too busy to do anything but run everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. Renee said, we've all been in it and seen it. It's a no-brainer that chemical-free and eating what we want and enjoy beats surgically, chemically altering your body to still have the restrict how we eat. Exactly, Renee. Exactly. Let's see. Mary T said, people tell me all the time how much time it takes. My everyday meals take half the time my sad meals used to take. Right. It's so easy. It's so easy. But again, and I understand. I don't want to put somebody down like that because I do know people who they really are like depression and all of that. You just don't have it. And yes, I think once you're able to start cooking healthier for you, it's like that wheel, right? It's like, okay, you're eating crap, so you feel like crap, and so you're drained all the time, so you never feel the energy to cook, and you then eat out or get quick ready meals that are full of crap, which makes you feel like crap. Like it's just this wheel, and it's like if you just take one thing out and take the energy, and I know it's hard at first, but if you start doing that one thing, take out that crap food that you don't have the energy. And I understand they don't have energy. If all you're doing is eating crap all the time, of course you're not going to feel good all the time. And you're just not going to have the spoons to do what you need to do to get healthy. But if you do take that out of there and you start, then that whole wheel will change, because then you'll be like, you know what? I do feel better when I do this. And then now I feel like I have more energy to make the meals. And then you just keep that going in a better thing. So I don't want to put somebody down who truly they don't have the energy or the gumption to do it. And then it's playing into maybe they then get depression and everything else, and they just don't feel like it. And that again goes back to the food nutrition. If they understood, well, yeah, I understand you feel like crap and you just do this, but it's because that is what's making you keep on this same cycle.
I think it was easier for us too, because we already enjoyed cooking.
Yeah, we do. Mighty Healthy
we
Michelle
already meal prepped back then too.
Said it also helps to meal prep whenever you can. Exactly.
But see, like I'm saying, thank you, because that's what we were already doing that.
Yeah. Renee says every Sunday is prep for the week. Yes. Yep, us too.
Mine is mainly on Tuesdays.
Oh, yeah. Mary T said, I tell people keto is free.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to buy anything other than your normal groceries.
That's why the big pharma hates it, because it's cutting into their profits.
Mary T said, this time of year is so great getting veg from the garden. We processed our onions today. Ooh. The royal we. It was actually Pete. It was Mr. T.
Uh-huh.
They were in the cold room, and we will eat them until next summer. See, that is so nice.
That's amazing.
Toy2Q Cat said, I always used to eat everything low fat or no fat because that's what we were told to do.
Amen.
Yep. I was so excited when I started low carb keto and I finally got to have cheese, cream, all the good stuff. Right. Exactly. Don't you?
I don't know if she does it as much as I do, but when I go to get cheese or any products like that or any dairy and it says low fat on it, I immediately put it back and go look for one that says full fat. I always look at the count on that.
Oh, yeah, I do too. Yeah, exactly. I know. That's
all
why
I have is a low fat.
That's why I'm like, okay. But I think more people, one of the frugal people I watch, she was talking about like stop using margarine. She did a video about here's 15, because she has a lot of people who are menopausal women that follow her. So she does a lot of like frugality for older women. And she was talking about here's 15 things you need to stop eating so that you have a healthier person during your later years. And one of them was like, stop using margarine. I'm like, hey, yeah. And then
cut out the toxins.
Right. And that's what she was saying too. There were several of them. I was like, so she's basically saying, if anything, low carb, because she also said limit or exclude sugar and no sodas. And I was like, I mean, you're telling everybody to do at least low carb, if not keto, you know, without saying it.
You're doing it in so many more words, though.
Right, exactly. Renee, which is great, because to me, if there's a frugal channel out there who's promoting and like they're understanding, and I hear it a lot in the finance space of, yeah, it's great you're saving money, but part of that is also being a healthy person. And so they get it because they understand, you know, in the long run, it doesn't matter if you have a lot of money if you're unhealthy. Right. And so a lot of them, but they don't always say, you know, what they're doing. They're just like, you know, most people, at least I think if you're cognizant of, like, if you're caring about your finances and stuff, you also realize about the health factor. And so you're like, yeah, I shouldn't be eating processed foods, shouldn't be eating tons of sodas and sugar. And most of them say that. They don't say, you know, keto or whatever, but I'm like, I'm okay with that. If your average person stopped eating processed boxed foods and stop drinking all the sodas, right, I think we would be far healthier. I'm okay. If most people did that, I would be thrilled.
Another benefit I noticed, how many weeks ago was it? Months ago was it? When I swore off all the energy drinks.
Oh, yeah.
And all the diet sodas, too. When I cut those out, my health has gone up, too.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, because I used to be a diehard addict almost for my energy drinks. Y'all would see me. I would drink one every morning with my breakfast, and I would drink one every Friday night with my dinner.
Yeah. Let's try to get through this real quick. Let's try to wrap this up in 9 minutes. Renee said, one of our speech therapists complained she doesn't understand why she gets so phlegmy and a little cough after lunch meals as she downs her burgers, fries, cheese sauce. She is tiny, but just no clue and not receptive because she has her master's degree and she plays it off as other things. Right. And she's skinny. So therefore she's healthy. Right. That is really what is. We are still a very fat phobic society. And that is still the thought process. Oh, if you're skinny, you're fine. You're healthy. Because I see that all the time. I see a lot of like really thin people, and you're like, and you're eating all that junk. Like, okay. And yeah, they're not going to be receptive because to them, that's a little thing. Oh, it's the weather. Oh, it's the pollen. Oh, it's this, it's that. And they're like, because if I was eating something unhealthy, I would be fat. That's what most people think. Laura said, I had to hit rock bottom. I just couldn't live with the pain anymore. That's my motivation. It keeps me on track. And I hope that eventually you'll get all of that out and you'll feel so much better, Laura. You deserve it. Okay.
I know. It dawned on me we're fixing to leave. I need to put up this chicken.
Oh, yeah.
We got that one piece, because I cooked 3 of them.
Mary T said, early in my keto journey, Marie Emmerich said she started thinking about it when her vet asked what she was feeding her sick dog. It was a small amount, like 5 or 6 generations. Oh, about the kitten. And at least that many to reverse. I'll look for the link and post it. It's been years. Oh, wow. Yeah, because vets are more in tune with what the animal should be feeding. Like, that's the first thing they think of, right? If you bring an animal that's sick, what have you been feeding them?
Because like those crazy people that are trying to make their cats vegan, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, share that article.
Please.
Rickwood said, it's time for me to go fix supper for the dogs. I'm getting the sorry eyes.
You better go take care of them.
They're like, you made us go through the store. We need to eat now. Renee said, same as me, Lynn. It was hard to wrap my head around full fat was going to be better for me.
Right.
And it's so tasty.
It is.
Kaden said, the first few years we were married, I'd never bought any bacon, only turkey bacon. Oh. The kids' friends said that it tasted like the treats they feed the dogs.
Right. That's child abuse.
I know my ex-sister-in-law, that's all she would ever buy is turkey and bacon.
It was told it was healthy.
Yeah, because she would try to be healthy, and I was just like, I would make fun of her because I'm so mean. I was just like, that looks sick, like that. And I would tell her and I can't say I was even healthy at the time, right? But I would see that, and I was just like, you know what? If that's what's going to make me healthy, that's fine. I'd rather eat my real bacon than to have to suffer through that. Renee said, what did it for me was seeing people try to char a slice of pasteurized cheese and it wouldn't, and seeing someone set margarine on fire. Wow, right? Troy TQ Cat said, it still freaks me out with all of the fat I eat. The fear of getting fat from eating all of that is still there in the back of my mind. Years of brainwashing we're dealing with.
Yeah, it's like Munchausen syndrome almost. It really is.
Well, what they did tragically wrong is to call this fat when one of our macronutrients is fat, because it's actually not like fat. Like they should have named it a different name, and I think it would have been more. This is extra glucose. This is toxins. That's what that is. Instead of calling it fat, my body has a lot of toxin and glucose storage. If you called it glucose storage,
right,
people would then think, oh, because I'm eating too much sugar. And if they did that, that would change it. But because they named it fat, then everybody associates, oh, you're going to eat butter. Oh, you're just going to get fat.
Right. Because
they think it's the same thing, but it's not in any way. So yeah, it really is a mess on the head because of that. Kate said, now we're eating bacon ribeyes, delicious food. Punish me. Laugh out loud. Exactly.
Bacon wrap steak.
Renee said, my PCP is still on that train, Lynn. He also sells Advocare in his office. But I just get what I need, and he stopped pushing me. So PCP says I eat too much red meat. What's my blood work say? Exactly. And Joy TQ Cat said lab work doesn't lie. Exactly.
What's another thing you learn in school too? If you look at an animal's teeth, it'll show you what they're supposed to eat.
Yeah.
Look at our teeth.
Well, there's debate on that, but it is like, yeah, what does the blood work say? And I had one PCP who was like, oh, yeah, you're eating a lot of blood work. That's why your cholesterol. Oh, and I was like, okay. And she's like, well, let me do this calculation here, where you plug in the different numbers. And she goes, so we'll just see, because if your score is like a 3, 4, or 5, then yeah, we're going to have to talk about statins. And she did the numbers, and she's like, oh, you're a 1. Okay, but still, you need to watch that red meat consumption. And I'm like,
no, you understand. This red meat is what got me here.
Right. Renee said, I was at my heaviest with all the low-fat, sugar-free, 100-calorie, and so on. Yeah, exactly. I never lost weight doing low-fat.
I think, maybe I'm just a conspiracy theorist, I think it's tied together. Because there's big money in both of those. They're helping each other.
Oh, yeah.
You buy all those products so that this company over here makes all the money from
selling you
the treatment.
The cure.
Right.
Yeah, Renee said our bodies have a lot of inflammation storage. That might cue more people. Exactly,
Amen.
Renee. If they call it correctly, it's like, oh, you have a lot of inflammation. What are you eating? Inflammatory foods. And we know it. We know it. When we've gone off plan,
yes,
what happens? Your body becomes inflamed. So, yeah, that's going to happen. And you can tell. So if we just named it different, people maybe would stop being scared of food. And then maybe when I'm at a restaurant and I'm ordering extra butter, I won't get the side eye from people around us or the waiter, like, oh, really? You want extra butter? Like, you need to cut at that. But then they're like, oh, you want the bread? Right. Here's bread. Oh, here, we give you you want the chips? No, we don't want that. Oh, you want extra butter? And they give you a look. And it's like, okay. But you know what? We're here. Yeah. We're doing the best we can. and we can, basically we can only control ourselves and what we eat and make the decision for us to try to do the best thing. And that's what we're going to keep doing, and keep looking at our blood work every year when we get our labs done and be like, yep, I'm still doing good. So I'm going to keep it up, right? That's what we have to do.
For sure.
Right. So especially when you whip out your own bougie butter, Shelly.
Right.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Because y'all, we've actually done that. We've taken a container. It's about this big, about a square like this, with our butter, our the sugar, not the sugar,
the brown swerve.
And what else were we putting in?
Pecans
to add to our sweet potatoes in the restaurant.
Yeah, when we'll go someplace that I know you get a sweet potato as the side.
Yeah.
But
we get so mad when we forget.
Toy TQ Cat said, Happy Labor Day, y'all. Oh, that's right. Great conversation today. Keto on. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
And the last comment of the evening, Renee said, 3 million cheers to bacon, butter, beef, and coffee. Yes.
Yeah, I was almost there with you.
Oh, the coffee. So speaking of, all right, we're going to go to Home Depot. We're going to do some Halloween shopping.
And we're going to go to Dutch.
Yeah, apparently. And thank you all so much. Y'all are amazing. Great conversation today. We've enjoyed it so much.
And thank y'all for telling me not to go back to that quack job.
Yes, thank you so much. And y'all have wonderful. We love you. Bye, Mary T. She read, have a great day, y'all. Have fun at Home Depot. She's going to have a lazy Sunday afternoon.
That's awesome.
Me too. And happy Labor Day. And happy Labor Day to everybody. If you get to have it off. I do. He doesn't.
You're showing off.